Aggie football. KZDC. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN. AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson. Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is R&R in the morning. Rudy J. Karl Schoening running the ship. Rob is out today. Rob's starting Thanksgiving a little early. Now, he'll be back tomorrow.
We think.
Yeah, we hope. We hope he'll be back tomorrow. He's not sick or anything like that. It's just, we'll get into it. But no Rob today, so just Karl and I. Actually, the host of The Blitz, Jason Minnix, will join us at 8 o'clock. I don't know how long I'm going to keep him. I text him I keep him from like 8 to 9. What's up, Vince? I tell him I keep him. Well, actually, he texted me last night. Yes, we are missing an R. It's R and K in the morning today. My bad. Yeah, Jason texted me last night, Jason Minnix, like, hey, no Rob tomorrow? I was like, no. He's like, you need me? I was like, hell yeah, come on, let's get it in. And I was like, I'll come in this segment. He's like, I could do longer. I was like, hey, say less. So we'll be joined by Jason Minnix at 8. I want to talk to Jason. Of course, I want to talk to Jason about the Cowboys. I want to talk to Jason about UTSA. And today is Traylor Mondays. We will be joined by your 11-0 head coach, should be coach of the year, Jeff Traylor. We'll be joined by Coach Traylor at 9 to talk about that game on Saturday. Hell of a game. But the other thing I want to talk to Jason about is, because every Thursday, Jason has Coach Eric Morris, head coach of the Incarnate Word University of Incarnate Word. He has him on every Thursday at 4:30. And I don't want to forget about our other birds. You know, they did win the Southland this past weekend, and they're about to start their playoff run. So I want to get, if anybody could talk, Incarnate Word, it's Jason who talks to their head coach every Thursday. So I want to talk to Jason a little bit about them as well. Make sure we give our other birds some love. So, we got Cowboys, UTSA. First of all, it's going to be UTSA heavy. And I don't know when the last time, since, they brought Larry, you saw they brought Larry Coker out. You were at the game. They brought Larry Coker out. So, since the inception of this program, even when the Cowboys were at their worst, I can't ever think of the time where the University of Texas at San Antonio took precedence over the Dallas Cowboys or the UT Longhorns or the Aggies or Baylor. But this is one of those days where UTSA will definitely take priority. One, because they're 11-0. Two, because that was one of the best games I've ever attended. But we'll get to all of that. How was your weekend, Karl?
Well, I was at the UTSA game too, so that was a very fun part of my Saturday.
So what happened? Okay, because we have our little WhatsApp little conversation going, and everybody's trying to find everybody. I was there, Minnix was there, Pledge was there, you were there. Jimenez is a diva. He doesn't show up. He's too good to hang out with us. He was supposed to hang out with us. He dissed us. What time did you get to the Dome?
I actually missed the first UAB drive. I got in there right at kickoff, and then I was on the third story. And I understand that the third story experience was a lot better than the Club 100 level because it was packed in the lower bowl. It was packed up where I was. They only had the section right behind the UTSA bench available. I wanted to be behind the UTSA bench. So Bianca and I got there like right at 2:30.
Okay. See, I felt bad because, I thought you got there during tailgate time and we missed y'all.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We were going to try, but we had to go over to near UTSA, USA area to get tamales. We have some tamales for Thanksgiving. It's going to be good.
Oh, you got some tamales on deck? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mother-in-law actually, and this is no offense to anybody, any restaurant, but I only eat my mother-in-law's tamales. Like, if I did cheat on her tamales, I don't know if she would babysit for me. She's a lifesaver when it comes to, because without, man, but anyway, so yeah, I'm at the tailgate and I finally meet up with Jason, and Jason's running around with Joe Reinagel. So Jason's like, hey man, we're over here at Lot C, come over here and hang out with us. And so I go over there, Lot C, dude, you can't hang out with Joe. Joe is taking a picture every 5 steps. Like every 5 steps, Joe's getting stopped. Like, hey, Joe. Because Jason and I, we get our love. You know what I mean? We getting our love. Like, hey, Rudy. Like, but it's like once every 150 steps.
You haven't been on TV for 25
exactly.
years, Rudy.
Like every 150 steps is like, hey, that looks like Rudy J. Yeah, that's me. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, cool. You walk around the parking lot with Joe, you're not getting very far. Like it took us a good 30 minutes. And I'm not mad about it.
That's funny.
But
though.
it was like
I thought about that. I was wondering how many people would recognize me if I showed up.
Dude, it took us 30 minutes to walk from lot C to lot B because Joe kept getting stopped. But good time at the tailgate. UTSA tailgates have come a long way. Like I've been doing them for years now, but now they're like, especially now, of course, because they're 11-0. But man, it's a party.
This was my first UTSA football game of the season, and I walked up on it and regretted not like saying, okay, we can get the tamales tomorrow.
How long did the tamales take?
We probably left. We had other stuff going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that was just one of a few things, and we also wanted to grab breakfast out there. We didn't want to like impose on somebody's tailgate and be like, "Hey, you're gonna feed us."
No, see, this is the thing, and again, see, okay. So at an Aggie tailgate, you can't just walk up on random tailgates because at UTSA, you literally like as long as you like kind of throw some money in the tip jar or whatever. Like you're good on any tailgate. So I don't know. I've never done the Texas A&M or UT. Only tailgates I've experienced, I've done a Cowboy one, but my cousin had his own section, so I was good. And then I've done UTSA, and at UTSA, most tailgates, they're cool if you just roll up.
I would have to say that I would be a little uncomfortable doing something like that. I'd have to at least kind of know them via proxy, like say, oh, hey, this is Karl, and it's like, oh, we listen every day, and then I'd be cool with it. But I just didn't want to make that assumption.
Now, the only ones I don't go to the ones that are like college student heavy, because I'm not going to be.
You're not going to party with them?
No, it ain't even that. It's just like, who's the old guy? Like, you just looks creepy. You know what I mean? Like, I have my daughter, my daughter's 25. I have a 25-year-old daughter, so I'm not going to the tailgate where the kids are younger than my daughter. And there ain't nothing wrong with those tailgates. Those tailgates, they be lit. They be having a good time, but it's just like, I'm not going to be the creepy old man and roll up in the like, I roll into the tailgate where, it's like about 35 and up.
No, I think
like
that's
some happening
right.
tunes that I can recognize. You know what I mean?
A lot more chill. They're not trying to get hammered before the game.
You know what I mean? Like, the dudes got on tank tops or no shirt. The young ladies, like, dressed the way they dress. I'm not rolling up in that tailgate. Like, there's a few of those out there that I skip past. But you know what, Karl? In fairness to you, I do go to the ones that have reached out to us on Twitter. Because, like you said, you kind of weird just rolling up in the tailgate.
Hey, you don't know who I am?
Yeah, you don't want to roll up in the tailgate where they're like, so who's the black dude with the speckled beard? Because he keeps asking for beer and fajitas, but I don't really know who he is. So yeah, there's about 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's about 3 tailgates. But normally I'm with my guy Bobby Justice, his tailgate. He's, that's my guy. His dad's my neighbor, so I'm comfortable drinking all of his beer and eating all of his wings. But nonetheless, man, great time. I hate we miss you. I mean,
how about the actual game though? Like that game was one of the best games I've ever been to. In regulation, that didn't need overtime because overtime is different.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk a lot more in depth on the game, and at the 7:30 segment. But definitely one of the better games that I've been to. Well, let me think. I'm trying to think. I don't want to be caught in the moment. Because, see, I was in the building, even though it wasn't a great game, just the atmosphere and the fact that it was a 7-year layoff. I was in the building when the Spurs won the title in 2014, Game 5. Again, it wasn't a great game. The Spurs blew them out. But, so.
The atmosphere does play a lot into it.
The atmosphere plays a hell of a lot into it. Now, for those that don't know, the media come Western Conference Finals and the finals, they sit us on the roof. They sit the media on the roof. So I was a long way away. Like, you're far away when the zoom on your phone doesn't even, you know what I mean? It doesn't even look like you're close. Like normally you zoom, you can look like you're pretty close. Like I couldn't even zoom where they sit you come Western Conference Finals or the finals. But so I was there for that. But other than that, like in person, for what was on the line and what this season has meant, this was definitely top 2, top 3, if not 1. I just want to make sure I'm not calling the moment, but definitely, I've never been at a football game that was won at the buzzer.
I can't say I have either.
I'm like basketball, yeah, maybe, but football, I'm never. Like I was at no, I haven't been at a football game that won at the buzzer.
I've seen game-winning drives, obviously, but not ever, like you said, where they had to put time on the clock because it hit 0.
So what would have been your call? If you're doing that game, what would have been your call?
See, that was such a helter-skelter play. I would have stuck with it, probably. Everything
because he
from
did
the drop
fumble
snap,
the snap, right?
Yeah, drops the snap, picks it up, rolls left, fires it in the end zone. It's tipped and then caught by I blank on the young man's name, Oscar Cardenas. Mm.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to know every single player, because if you have a hesitation on who caught that, makes the play call just a little worse, just a little worse.
But the thing about it is 11, let's say if you're doing that 11 games in, you know them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You'd be 11 games in at that point. You know who Cardenas is off the rip and where he is. So would you have gone Charlotte? The Charlotte Hornets dude, is that their TV guy or is that their radio guy? He goes
wild. Their TV
on
guy.
every time. Carl, he goes viral once a week because he screams and yells.
Yeah, I can't do that, but he's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not.
So he's not just a screamer.
Yeah, I'm not going to go. He. It's funny. Sometimes it's a little too much because it can be, but overall, that's his style, and he's good at it. Kind of like Gus Johnson.
Gus is phenomenal.
Gus is phenomenal, but I couldn't impersonate Gus. You know what I mean? Like that's very unique. I've heard other people try to impersonate Gus, and it just sounds like they're trying to impersonate Gus. You got to find your own. Yeah, you really got to find your own style if you're doing play-by-play.
Now, the call you did when you and I did the Johnson Reagan, your call with Ben McCreary when that was a great call.
Thank you.
Where he broke up the sideline. But then, so we're going to talk about the game more in depth at 7:30. Again, we'll be joined by Coach Traylor at 9. We'll have Jason Minnix on at 8. We're going to have our victory cigar around 7:45, 1911 victory cigar. UT, my gosh. Like, I think they put the burnt orange at the back of the closet and moved the runner orange to the front of the closet. UT fan is in hiding. I can't find them. They were texting me at the beginning of the season, watch your mouth, blah, 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 this, but whatever. And then yesterday comes along, 3:00. My wife, we agreed once I took this gig, Sundays, she would leave me alone, let me do my thing. I gotta be watching all the games. I gotta be on the red zone. I gotta watch as many games as possible, and I definitely gotta watch the Cowboys. So yesterday, I'm not recovering because Saturday I didn't have too much to drink. I didn't go too crazy at the tailgate, and then Saturday after the tailgate, after the game, we just went home. We didn't really do anything Saturday, but Sunday, I don't move on Sundays. On Sundays, I'm on the couch, have me a cigar or two in between games here and there, and that's about it. Sundays, I don't go anywhere. My wife takes the girls, they go do their thing. And 3:25 hit, and I'm thinking, okay, this is the game of the week. This is the game everybody's been talking about. And it was a stinker. That was whack. Coming off of what I witnessed at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, and then the game that we've been talking about on this show for a week. We talked about it since Monday. Normally, we start breaking down Cowboys about Wednesday, Thursday. We talked about Chiefs Cowboys from Monday through Friday, and then as we talked to Coach Mike McCarthy every Friday, we talked to him Friday. And it was a stinker of a game, Carl. Really wasn't that good of a game. Both teams didn't execute well.
I like defense. So
was that defense or bad offense?
Well, I thought the Cowboys played pretty good defense. I thought the Chiefs probably could have done better offensively, but they just aren't connecting at the moment.
Yeah. So we got to talk about that game yesterday as well. But right now, as we do always around this time, we got to get to your headlines. Let's get to the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
Jonathan Taylor carries Indianapolis Colts to upset over the Buffalo Bills with 5 touchdowns. Taylor didn't only carry the Colts back to the thick of the AFC playoff race, he likely also carried himself into the thick of the MVP race. Taylor had a career-high 32 carries for 185 yards, and he became just the 18th player in NFL history to score 5 touchdowns, doing so in Sunday's convincing 41-15 victory over the Bills. The Colts started the season 1-4, but they've since won 5 of their last 6 to move above 500 for the first time this season.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's leading the league in rushing, 1,122 yards, 13 touchdowns. He has 3 runs of 40-plus yards, 10 runs of 20-plus yards. He has 1 run for 83 yards. And considering Aaron's he's missed a game, Tom Brady, he's on his little losing streak. He may be in the MVP hunt. I think we may have to put Jonathan Taylor in the MVP hunt. And shout out to the fantasy owners that had to play against Jonathan Taylor. If you played against Jonathan Taylor, you lost. And if you had Jonathan Taylor, you won. 5 touchdowns. What did he have? 100 and what?
I think 185 yards is what it said. Yeah, 32 carries for 185 yards.
I don't know if the story is the Colts or the story the Bills. Because the Bills have, they have that ugly loss to the Jags, where they only scored 6 points. And then there's yesterday. So there's something on tape about the Bills offensively that you can get to them. You can stop them if you're doing certain things. Because, again, 6 points against the Jags. And then yesterday, most of their points came in garbage time. I don't know, man. The Bills are looking like, and we still got 7 games, right? Still got at least 7 games, 17. They're playing 17 games this year. Still got 7. Some people have 8 games left. I don't know. The Bills are starting to look like a fraud, and don't look now, but the Patriots are the top of the AFC East. Wow, man. But the Colts, I can't figure them out either. You know, that game they had against the Tennessee Titans, who go down to the Houston Texans. We'll talk about that. They lose that game to the Titans. I don't know who the Colts are, but they've gotten hot. And in the NFL, it's all about who gets hot late. So I guess we're going to have to watch out for the Colts. And your Carson Wentz is the most talented QB prediction. Ain't looking too shabby right now, Carl.
He is the only player in NFL history to throw for 4,000 yards without having a 500-yard receiver on his team.
Ooh. That's a fun
talent.
fact.
That's talent.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah, well, usually when you put up 4,000 yards, you at least have one 500-yard receiver. But
so he threw for 4,000 and didn't have anybody catch. So that means he had to really spread that thing around.
Mm-hmm. And that's just pure talent. In fact, he slings it as pretty as I've ever seen it. I almost think there's too much velocity on that spin because sometimes, you like that spin, but it's too much. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a little too pretty, if that makes sense. He really knows how to play some football, but he just can't stay healthy for a 17-game season, much less a 16-game season. I just need him to get 75% of those snaps for that first-round pick for the Eagles, though. He's on his way. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor should be in the clubhouse. Your clubhouse leader for MVP. Moving on.
Headline 1.
Sacramento Kings fire Luke Walton and name Alvin Gentry their interim head coach. The Kings promoted assistant coach Alvin Gentry to interim coach after firing Luke Walton on Sunday, the team announced. The Kings have lost 7 of 8 games and dropped to 6-11 on the season, leaving them 12th in the Western Conference. Several recent losses came to the team struggling, like the San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder, and Minnesota Timberwolves. That's from Woj, not me.
This is why the Kings are the Kings. 17 games in and you let the guy go. Like, you didn't know this before the season started to let him go and name Alvin Gentry the head coach. There's talent there, and I don't know if they're going to be this playoff juggernaut, but they're going to be a lot better under Alvin Gentry. They're going to be a lot better. They're going to be playing better. So the Kings you're going to play from today going forward are not going to be the Kings you've been playing for the last 3 years. So I would definitely watch out for the Sacramento Kings. Alvin Gentry is a really, really good coach. Did well with the Pelicans, did well with the Phoenix Suns. So looking forward to seeing him. Luke probably, it's not his fault. He probably should have never got that gig. He won 24 games in a row with Golden State while they had the best team in the world. And he got hot on some people's lists, but he probably never should have gotten that job.
It's a lottery when you go after NBA head coaches or NFL coaches or any coaches, really. You see that in college, too. Who do we think is maybe best for this accumulation of talent that we have? And we see the Blazers roll the dice on Chauncey Billups, or the Mavericks roll the dice on Jason Kidd. Luke Walton probably deserved a shot, but something happened there. And now all of a sudden my main focus will turn back to Marvin Bagley, because that sucks for Luke Walton that your second overall pick is refusing to go into games, and something's happening.
Was that true? Did he really just say, I'm not going in?
There's video evidence of him being pointed in to be asked to go to a Cleveland game, and he was like, no. I'll pull it up for you during the break. But yeah, that sucks, because you're a team that needs that number 2 overall pick to play like the franchise player you hoped he would be. And you're out essentially a guy that you hope would blossom into a franchise player. That's a tough one for any coach. So yeah, see if Alvin Gentry can get him playing, and if not, he's got to be moved. I mean, I don't know what they get for him, but you can't have that with a new coach and continuing a problem. It's almost worse than DeMarcus Cousins, because he was in the trade conversations, but he was playing well. What's going to happen to Marvin Bagley?
Yeah. Moving on.
Headline 0.
The Ohio State Buckeyes surged 3 spots to number 2 in the AP Top 25. UTSA actually stays at 15.
How?
I don't know.
Who cares?
But on top of that, Texas A&M jumps back in front of UTSA. 13th is BYU. Michigan State is 12th. 10 Oregon, or 11 Oregon. 10 is Oklahoma. The top 5 are Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, Cincinnati, and then Notre Dame.
So Associated Press, the Aggies beat the juggernaut that is Prairie View. UTSA beats UAB in a thriller, and they jump UTSA?
I don't know. That makes no sense to me.
And Associated Press has been pretty good, This is a head scratcher, but wow, Michigan State. First of all, I still think Mel Tucker deserved to get the extension, okay? He deserved to get the extension. Really good coach, Bama background, Georgia background. He deserved it, but it's bad when you get that extension. You get $90 million, and then you get beat by damn near 50 the week after your extension. It just looks bad. What was that, Michigan State? And Ohio State, Rob has been very, very high on Ohio State the entire year. The entire year, he's like, hey, I think they're the only team that can play with Georgia. And I'm like, still, I don't know if they can play with Georgia. But Rob may be on to something. Now, rumors are starting to swirl that the Chicago Bears, should they fire Matt Nagy, will go after their head coach, Ryan Day. Will go after Ohio State's head coach, Ryan Day. Why? Him and Justin Fields have a relationship. Justin Fields played really, really well under Ryan Day. So I don't know if NFL is in his sights, speaking of Ryan Day, but those are the rumors floating. You had Bears fans chanting, fire Matt Nagy, in the middle of that Ravens game yesterday. That was awful. And speaking of the Bears, I tweeted this yesterday. Bears-Lions on Thanksgiving Day is so disgusting. I called it the cranberry sauce of Thanksgiving Day games. Nobody wants that. Do you eat cranberry sauce, Carl?
Can't say I do.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure I skipped that.
Yo, hit us up. We all know what we all like, but what is it that you don't want on Thanksgiving? Like, don't pass me no cranberry sauce. I don't even know if my family puts it out. I don't know. My mom will have to answer that question. Because I've never touched it. I can't think of anybody in my family that does, but the Bears and Lions on Thanksgiving, it's at 11:30. Like, you're still driving to grandma's or driving to your aunt's. Like, that lets you know the game's not important when they put it on. When they put it on at 11:30. The Lions, whatever.
There was a tradition back in the 70s when Dallas and Detroit were the two cities that everybody wanted to move to. They were both booming and very rich cities, and the NFL just took that and ran with it, and it's probably ran its course, but it's also a tradition.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, traditions can change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Lions don't deserve Thanksgiving Day any longer.
Because they've been so bad for so long.
Yeah, it's run its course. Like, pick another team or just rotate that spot. The Cowboys, I get it. Like, that, stay there. I don't care what their record is. I get it. Like, I'm not this huge Cowboy honk, but I fully understand why you want them on Thanksgiving. But the Lions, that's a tradition that you can break. You know, it's like, oh, well, we've been calling it this for 30 years. Well, it's been wrong for 30 years. But yeah, so what did he say?
Yeah, Rudy J.
Oh, Eagle. I think it's Eagle, Rudy J.
It does look like it's Eagle. We're going to have to ask James Pleasure to explain that on his YouTube comment.
That's your 411 and the 210. Good stuff, Carl.
That's the 411 and the 210.
When we get back, we got to talk about the UTSA Roadrunners who improved to 11-0 with a thrilling victory, 30 in front of over 35,000 fans. Talk a little bit of Cowboys. Again, we'll have our victory cigar at 7:45, brought to you by 1911. We have so much to get to. A really good game last night between Pittsburgh and San Diego. A lot going on in the NFL. So let's get to all that. And we got Monday Night Football as well. So let's get to break. Let's pay for this fantastic show. And it's R&R in the morning. Alamo Cycleplex. I'm so happy they're back on over here at ESPN SA. I've known the owner Dave for quite some time now, so he's been back on. I met with him Thursday, had a wonderful Italian dinner over some nice wine. If you never had, first of all, I'm not a wine connoisseur, so I'm not big on wine. I don't know different wines, but Thursday had a couple bottles of Camus with the owner at Alamo Cycleplex. He wanted to let me know some things that he wanted done going forward, so happy to have Alamo Cycleplex back. If you go to their Facebook page, they're doing a giveaway, and this is a pretty cool giveaway. It's their biggest giveaway of the year. You go to their Facebook page, Alamo Cycleplex, enter to win a free 2022 Honda Grom. It's worth $3,399. You go and comment on the post with the word Grom, that's GROM, to get the entry link, or send Alamo Cycleplex a text message with the same word Grom, GROM, to 812-324-8687. So again, you want to win this motorcycle. It's a pretty cool little motorcycle. Don't text me. I lost it because someone sent me a text. Excuse me. 812-324-8687. Text the word Grom, GROM, and you can enter to win a free Grom. In Alamo Cycleplex, they sell fun. I've dealt with them for years now. And the thing about shopping with Alamo Cycleplex, and I'm not just saying this, when you shop with Alamo Cycleplex, you're in the Alamo Cycleplex family. They like to do slingshot rides. They do motorcycle rides. They have bike nights, everything. And they, there's a bunch of different little organizations around the city, kind of like the slingshot groups. Dave goes into his own pockets, helps sponsor a lot of these guys' rides when a lot of these other places are kind of turning these people away. So go over to Alamo Cycleplex. Let them know R&R in the morning sent you. Don't forget to text GROM, GROM, to 812-324-8687 for your chance to win. That's Alamo Cycleplex. We sell fun.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
The UTSA Roadrunners improved to 11-0 in a thriller against UAB, taking the win 34-31. With 3 seconds left, Frank Harris connected with Oscar Cardenas for a go-ahead touchdown and win the Conference USA West Division Championship. The Dallas Cowboys lost their third game of the season to the Kansas City Chiefs 19-9. Dallas will have a short week to prepare for the Raiders on Thanksgiving Day with the 3:25 kickoff. The Houston Texans pulled off the upset of the weekend, going into Tennessee and defeating the Titans 22-13 for their first win since week 1 of the season. And the San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight to host the Phoenix Suns. The Spurs try to snap a 4-game losing streak with tip-off at 7:30. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
Thomas J. Henry Law has more than 2,700 five-star Google reviews from satisfied clients. If you've been injured and need an attorney, don't leave your case to chance. Contact Thomas J. Henry today at tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. 'Twas the season of cheer and joy filled the town, except for Scrooge with his perma frown. The gift of a Peloton bike touched his soul without doubt. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out. This Black Friday, get the original Peloton bike at our best holiday price ever, $1,495. All access membership separate. Terms apply. See website for details.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the holidays with you with a magical offer to make your dream gift more affordable than ever. Starting this Friday, we're offering 4 years zero-interest financing. Has she been dreaming of a new engagement ring, a bigger diamond, an elegant pair of diamond earrings, or a stunning diamond eternity band? With this amazing offer, you can afford to go big this Christmas. Just pick any item, get the unbeatable value price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 4 years with zero interest. Think about a $9,000 designer ring comes out to just $188 a month. At Diamonds Direct, our showcases are filled this year with gifts you'll absolutely love. Gifts that will last a lifetime. Colored gemstones, all new designer jewelry from New York and LA, and the biggest collection of rare, precious diamonds we've ever offered. It all starts Black Friday. Diamonds Direct's special holiday finance offer. Get holiday hours, directions, and see exclusive online Black Friday offers at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the Morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
UTSA. Wow. And I hate to be that guy. But you really had to be there. Don't get me wrong. Even if you were just watching it, that's cool. You know what I mean? That's cool. Like, at least you're still supporting. But being there was a really, really, really dope experience. I haven't, since 2020 hit and we've been going through this horrible pandemic, I haven't high-fived that many strangers. You know what I mean? Like, I had to wash my hands for like a minute and a half after I left the UTSA game from high-fiving and fist bumping and elbow bumping total strangers. Like, that's been a no-no since the pandemic hit. And I threw that all out of the window. What a game. UTSA, we've seen them start behind the 8 ball. They started behind the 8 ball against Memphis. Southern Mississippi was a tough game. Western Kentucky. Who else? UNLV was a tough game. They've been tested. Hell, Illinois was a tough game.
Memphis, that was a tough game
Memphis.
too.
They started down 20. Yeah, they were down 21-0 to Memphis. And the same, the thing about it is, first off, let's tip our cap to UAB, that's a really good football team. I haven't seen anybody beat up UTSA's defensive line like that all season. Western Kentucky, it was kind of an air raid. UNLV kind of an air raid. Memphis, they had a couple of long touchdowns. But just as far as hey, we're going to run the ball and there's nothing you can do about it, I haven't seen anybody do UTSA that way all season long. And UAB really did their thing. But in typical UTSA fashion, they stick with it. Jeff Traylor said a million times, and he'll be on here at 9 o'clock, that we're not scared of anybody. We're not going to back down, and we're not going to quit. And they never lose confidence. Again, I can't give enough credit to their leader, their QB, Frank Harris. He just kind of just sticks with it. And that's what they did Saturday. Again, when you look at it, when a team's running the ball on you like that, it can get demoralizing, and you could get, kind of get down on yourselves, but they never did. They stuck with it, and they came out with the victory. Now, fourth quarter, 4th and inches. I was sitting there with Pledge. It was probably before they decided to punt. Speaking of UAB, they're kind of deciding, do they go for it or not? I think that's one of those decisions. The coach from UAB, that one's going to keep him up at nights for quite some time. Now, I get the fact that he didn't want to give UTSA the ball on that shorter field if they didn't get it with only 40 yards to go. But 4th and inches, the way you had ran the ball the entire game for UAB to not go for it then was a shocker to me.
Didn't that end up being a delay of game?
Well, they took the delay of game for the punt reasons after that. They ended up taking the delay of game, though.
I guess, but it didn't seem like they were really serious when they started to line up, and then they took a delay of game, and then they had to punt it. There was no chance. Obviously UTSA went back. That was a really weird moment of the game. And I don't know if they just that was out of their comfort zone, but they wanted to go for it. Like maybe there's some kind of rule in practice where inside the 40, they go for it, and they maybe were outside of that general range. But that was a tough decision. But honestly, it almost paid off. We can't get too mad at them, but Frank Harris and the
first
UTSA
of all,
offense.
it worked out for us. I have no problem with the outcome of it, but when you look at it, Frank Harris, 25 of 36, 323, 3 touchdowns. Sincere McCormick, not his best game. UAB said, you know what, Frank beat us. They loaded the box. Sincere only had 20 carries, only 65 yards. Clark had 6 catches for $104. Zachary Franklin, the one-handed touchdown in the first quarter. Was that first quarter? Oh, my gosh. It was an and one, by the way. 6 catches, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cephas, 5 catches, 58 yards. And, of course, can't forget about Oscar Cardenas. He had only 2 catches, 29 yards, but he has the game-winning catch. Now, the drive before UAB, was that a catch? It was a 3rd and 10. Zakari's on the sideline. He kind of tiptoed. Ball took a while to get to him. He was wide open, but the ball took a while to get to him. Kind of, does a little tap dance on the sideline. On the replay, Karl, it looked like a catch when they slowed it down, but they went and reviewed it. Refs come back and say, nope, still not ruled a catch. 4th and 10, UTSA goes for it. And Zachary Franklin has another catch, but I think he ended up being about 2 yards short. Did you think it was a catch on 3rd and 10 from what you saw?
I thought it was a catch, and then they should review it, but they decided to review it after it was called a no catch, so that makes it harder for the review to overturn. They said the play stood, so obviously they couldn't find anything in their angles, but there were screenshots all over Twitter that showed very clearly he caught it. And then James Pledger said in the group text afterwards that he wasn't sure if afterwards he held on to it for the completion of the catch. So I'll have to go back and watch the replay to see if maybe he bobbled it when he hit the turf, because it was a great looking catch, but maybe it did come out a little bit at the end and everybody was so focused on the feet.
Okay, so now let's move on from right there. Okay, 3rd and 10, Zachary Franklin looked like a catch to me. They rule it non-catch. 4th down, we come up a little bit short. Now here's where I got to be that guy again. After they don't get that 1st down, they still had 2 timeouts, but a couple thousand people started leaving the dome.
What?
You didn't know? Oh, well, see, maybe they didn't leave from where you were at, but a lot of people started leaving. A lot of people left. It kind of felt real 2013 Miami Heat when they thought the Spurs
begging to come back in.
Yeah, begging to come back in. A lot of people started leaving, and I'm thinking, dog, we don't live in LA. There's no traffic to beat. We're talking about 35,000 people. You'll be okay. Like literally, I want to say there was somebody. We were sitting by a tunnel, and the guy's walking down the tunnel, and I guess the guy that was sitting next to me, he knew him. He was like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna get out of here, man. We're gonna beat this traffic." And I said, "Traffic? This ain't LA. There's 100, and then on that, the dome, there's like 8 different exits. Like, where are y'all going?" So to you people that left the game, and again, maybe you had your baby, if the game ran long, you had to go and pick up your kids. I don't know what your reasons were, but you should be ashamed of yourselves if you didn't have a really good reason. If you were just a traffic guy or you thought the game was over guy, don't come back. I'm sorry.
I told Bianca it was going to be a 3-hour game, maybe 3.5 hours, and it did go about 4.5 hours. I will say
Why
that.
did it go so long?
TV timeout. CBS was running the show, and I think they were passing a fair amount because they did do a solid job bottling up Sincere McCormick. So UTSA ended up passing a few more times than I think they intended. But anyhow, no, I saw some people go to the exits, but to their credit, they watched from the exits.
Okay,
everybody
I
saw leave,
I didn't see
left,
that.
like they was a fire hazard for sure. But they were right there at the exit watching. I was like, don't go. And then they didn't go. So I was like, okay.
But see, I'm sitting there watching it with Pledge, and Pledge is like, okay, there's 2 timeouts. Pledge started doing the math. Pledge starts doing the math. Pledge is like, okay, they're probably going to get the ball back with 1:10. They got the ball back with 1:07. No timeouts. And you got to go 80 yards. I mean, with no timeouts to go 80 yards, that is, again, and it's not Frank Harris in the offense. They're not the Packers. They're not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But that was Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady-like stuff, a couple of those passes that Frank made. Again, he missed on a few, but when he needed them the most, he got them, and they get down the field on the long pass to Clark down the sideline. Hell of a catch by Clark. Clark is, to me, he's like even I'm not just saying that because of 88, he's like probably the most physical, just go up and go get it receiver they have in Conference USA. Reminds me a lot, even though he wears 88, reminds me a lot of Dez. Like you just throw it up there and Clark is going to get it, and he got one of the biggest of the season. And then you have the game-winning play, which, like I said, that was CBS, right?
Yes.
That was CBS.
Yeah, I have it queued up.
Yeah,
you
got it. Yeah. Then you got the game-winning play. Let's hear that again because I want to get my juices flowing again because I'm still on. As you can hear, I still haven't got my voice all the way back. It was totally gone after Saturday. But then here you got the game-winning touchdown.
Harris drops the snap, throws it to the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown! Oscar Cardenas in the Element Dome is going crazy.
Whoa. See, I was there. I mean, it was loud to me, but I didn't know that's how it came through the radio or television.
I didn't realize that till we were listening to headsets.
Play that again.
1 second. Let me get that back for you.
Damn, that I was there, so I know the dome was loud, but I didn't know it came through I didn't know it came through the TV like that.
Harris drops the snap, throws it to the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown! Oscar Cardenas in the Element Dome is going crazy.
Man, that was crazy. It was the best atmosphere I've been post-pandemic. I can say that with confidence.
Oh, yeah.
For sports.
Oh, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt whatsoever. But it's funny hearing him say Cardenas.
Yeah. Patel Franklin chimes in on Facebook and says, did Ed Ogeron go from LSU to calling UTSA games? It sounded like Ed Coach O.
Well, Botella, when you're calling the game and I'm sure Karl can speak to this better than I do, if you're talking for 4 hours, it may get a little bit scratchy.
Oh, I didn't realize this. It was ESPN Plus. They had long TV timeouts for ESPN Plus.
It was ESPN Plus. Okay. Well, whatever it was, thank you to ESPN Plus or CBS for that footage, but that sounded awesome. Shout out to UTSA, man. I got there's so much I want to talk to Coach Traylor about just within that game. The one question I have to ask him, what was the explanation that was given to him on the catch that wasn't a catch with Zachary Franklin over there on the sideline. So,
I know that sucked in the moment, but if you take that away, you might change everything. The fact that it was a, last second game-winning touchdoon, I think that it all played out the way it should have played out. And, that's probably the answer you're going to get from Coach Traylor.
It made it that much more of a classic because they had to overcome that, which a lot of people consider a bad call. But I ain't going to lie. While I didn't leave, I was worried. After they didn't convert on that drive, because UAB had run the ball on them so well all night, I was like, damn. I'm looking at my wife. We're like, damn, is this the way it's going to end? But it didn't. And like I said, that made it much more of a classic. So great job by the runners. Let's see here. What else we got? That's it. Yeah, let's do Victory Cigar when we get back, Carl. We're running a little bit late. Let's do Victory Cigar again. We'll be joined by Jason Minnix via StreamYard. I wondered what Jason looks like at 8 in the morning. I don't think he's been up this early. So let's do Victory Cigar and let's talk some Cowboys. Good morning, Ma. It's R&R in the morning. Well, excuse me. It's R&K in the morning. Rudy J and Karl showing it. Sit tight.
If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court. And we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers, just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, let sleigh bells ring. It's Ewald Kubota's first annual Trade Orange for Green holiday cash offer. We know the idea of trading your trusted Kubota equipment for cash might be tough, but having some cash on hand right before the holidays just might be the cure. Or trade in for a new Kubota Sidekick, Kubota zero-turn mower, or a brand new Kubota SVL or compact tractor. It's your choice during Ewald Kubota's Trade Orange for Green holiday cash offer going on now.
Right now, I'm getting bombarded with TV ads, postcards, and emails about Medicare Advantage programs, saying what I may be eligible for and what might be available. But don't tell me everything there is to know. Tell me what I need to know.
Clear up your Medicare confusion with simple, easy answers at EasyMedicare.com. That's the letter E, the letter Z, Medicare.com. Go to EasyMedicare.com or speak with a licensed agent at 1-888-486-1662. EasyMedicare.com.
Speak with a licensed insurance agent or visit EasyMedicare.com Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. EST, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. EST. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, has neither reviewed nor approved this information with regard to the federal Medicare program. EasyMedicare.com is powered by eTelequote Insurance Inc., a private duly licensed insurance agency appointed by Medicare Advantage, HMO, PPO, and PFFS plans and standalone prescription drug plans and insurance companies holding Medicare contracts approved by CMS. Enrollment in any plan for coverage is subject to insurance company approval. This information is not a complete description of benefits. Contact the plan for more information. Limitations, co-payments, and restrictions may apply. Benefits, premiums, and/or member cost share may change on January 1 of each year. You must continue paying your Medicare Part B premium.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about that time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Full Synthetic High Mileage and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
After a whole month of pro values, Lowe's Provember event is ending soon, but pros like you still have time to save. With buy one, get one free deals on select DeWalt power tools and top values like a Spider 2-pack of 4.5-inch diamond cutoff wheels for $14.98. Provember ends November 24th. Shop in-store or at lowes.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. While supplies last, U.S. only, valid 10/28 through 11/24.
Saturday afternoons mean one thing: college football.
Oh my God!
Hear games from all Power 5 conferences all season long, every Saturday from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Keyshawn Johnson. San Antonio Sports Stars get you moving every morning. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Back here on R&K in the morning, Rudy J, Karl Shoney. Rob is out today. Yeah, so what time was it? I'm going to look it up right now. What time did my phone ring? I'm sitting on the patio. It's about 7-11. My birthday. Good luck number. 7-11, and I see Rob's number pop up calling me. Now, when Rob calls me at random times, it's either like, hey, we're about to make some more money, or something like, I got some good news. This is going down, blah, 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 blah. Like, Rob will call me when there's some really, really good news, or like what he called me last night, like, hey, man, I ain't going to be able to make it. So Rob went hunting this weekend, right? Jason went with him. Jason Minnix, who's going to be joining us here in about under 10 minutes. He went with him. Jason Friday. Jason gets him a ram, knocks him a ram down. Rob, I can't even pronounce what Rob knocked down. But so yesterday they were supposed to do they were supposed to go hog hunting yesterday. I don't know if fog rolled in or what. I don't know what happened, but it got postponed. So Rob will be back sometime today. So he's not on, but it's all good. Karl and I got it. Mondays are easy. And not only that, we got a really short week this week. We're only live on air Monday and Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we will not be here. So it was no problem. I want my guy to have a good time. He's earned it.
Absolutely. And, if he needs to take Tuesday off because he needs to go to a Rosti because of the hog hunt, he was telling us that he wasn't sure if he was even going to do that. So I'm glad he decided, but pray for him because that man is about to go nose to nose with a boar.
Yeah. What Rob was telling us, and I don't know, you hunters out there can help me out. They're going to like get out of their little ATVs and actually hunt down the hogs. Like hit them with Aoudad. Yeah, Rob knocked down the Aoudad. I don't know. Again, I'm not a hunter. I don't know. But they're supposed to go hog hunting. They're supposed to get out with the dogs, chase the hog down, then knife the hog. I don't know. Just bring me some bacon. That's all I ask. I don't mind you being gone. But if you're going to be gone, at least bring a brother some bacon so I can make a bacon and egg sandwich. Anywho. Let's get to the 1911 Victory Cigars. If you haven't been out to 1911 out in Cibolo, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's BYOB. You go in there, and even if you're not a cigar guy, you want to get into it, but you don't know what to smoke. They got people there that'll help you out. They'll walk you through the humidor, start you off with something probably medium. They're not gonna start you off with a full body, and they'll get you taken care of. And you BYOB, always good atmosphere. Everybody's kind, everybody's cool. It's really great atmosphere. Sometimes they have live music. They got a food truck out there. Sometimes they do fish fries. They always do all types of different events, so it's always a good time. My 1911 Victory cigar, though, Karl, I think, they're getting plenty of cigars, so I won't go UTSA. I'm gonna roll with the Cardinals, man. I'm gonna give my Victory cigar to the Incarnate Word because, again, they've been the forgotten bird because UTSA has been so good this year. But they did win the Southland Conference. They did put up crazy numbers. Coach Eric Morris always takes time out of his schedule to not only come on with Jason, but he goes on the StreamYard with Jason. That's when you know you're good looking, when you don't mind going on the StreamYard. So shout out to University Incarnate Word. They Southland Conference. Now, you told me they have like a playoff system in the Southland. It's not like
so they already won the Southland.
They already won
They're
the Southland,
in the
right?
FCS, which used to be known as Division I AA.
Right.
It is the football championship series. So these are the teams that are Division I but not bowl eligible. And they play, I think it's a 3 or 4 game system where the best teams get a bye. So number 1 in the nation is actually Sam Houston State.
Are they undefeated again?
Yeah, they're 10-0, and they won last year's FCS championship in the spring undefeated as well. So Coach Keeler out there is putting them together, a really good team. They're going into Conference USA, not next season, but next season they're not playoff eligible. So this is Sam Houston State's last chance. And since they went from the WAC to the they're going into Conference USA, then the UIW Cardinals actually took their spot in the WAC, which is a step up because the WAC hopes to be a bowl conference sometime in the next decade.
Should be.
So, well, they were, and then there was the whole conference realignment, and they were one of the cannibalized conferences where I think they lost Boise, they lost Hawaii, Nevada. There were several teams in the WAC, the Utah State, I think, a lot of good teams that just went to greener pastures. And then Texas State and UTSA, who went into the WAC at that time thinking, oh, hey, it's the WAC, it's pretty cool. And everybody left. It was like Will Smith at the end of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's like, where'd everybody go? They had to get out, and that's how UTSA ended up in CUSA and Texas State in the Sun Belt. So now the WAC brought back football, and UIW is about to go back in there. So good for them to be basically entering the WAC as a playoff team, because it's hard to get into the playoffs at the FCS level.
Absolutely. So my victory cigar, my 1911 victory cigar goes to University of Incarnate Word. Props to Coach Morris. Props to their assistant AD, Ashley, over there. Showed us a great time, always showing us love on social media. So props to UIW. Who's your victory cigar going to?
The other birds, the Philadelphia Eagles. They defeated the
Did
Saints.
you just bring up the
29.
Eagles?
Absolutely. Hey, I might even stick around to do halftime with Jimenez just to gloat about this one. They're playing really well.
No, they are. They are. And you know what? The game has slowed down so much for Jalen Hurts. Like, you can tell the light bulb has gone off. Like, he's still, and not only that, his ceiling's still a good ways away. I'm not saying he's at his ceiling, but you can see now he's comfortable on Sundays. Like, it takes an adjustment. Like, we're such an air fryer society. We want everybody to hit the ground running and just be this great quarterback right away. Like, it doesn't work like that for everybody. It didn't work like that for Tom Brady. It didn't work like that for Aaron Rodgers, who sat 2 years behind Brett Favre. Tom Brady was a game manager his first 3 years. My guy, Romo, it took a while. Dak Prescott, while he went 13-3, that's because he had a great team around him. Some people at that position, it takes a while, but the Eagles, and not only that, they run the ball really well. They did a Saints team dirty that was playing well, even with Trevor Siemian. So I'm not mad at that victory cigar.
Yeah, Hurts is kind of looking Lamar Jackson-like, but almost just a little. Well, the offense is designed for him to be able to, if I don't see a pass, the defense is hopefully so spread out that he only has one guy to beat on the wide side of the field. So that's where he tends to go. He got a really nice touchdown where
he did. I saw that.
Yeah, it looked like he stepped out of bounds of the one, but he was able to get the ball across and get a score. So yeah, my victory cigar goes to the Eagles because, you know, like we talked about last week, there are 3-6 teams, and then there's like, they're 3-6. So the Eagles were a positive 3-6. And unlike James Pledger, I want my teams to improve throughout the course of the year. So next year I feel a little bit better. It's like, hey, you know, we might not have a high draft pick, but we have a team that showed improvement, and thus next year, hopefully they're better. And speaking of improvement, I'm going to give a half victory cigar to the Texans.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm thinking, again, I haven't smoked one of these in years, ever since I got into real cigars, but I'll smoke a Black and Mild for the Texans. I'll smoke a little Black and Mild wood tip for the Texans win. Shout out to Tyrod Taylor. Just goes to show, if he never gets hurt, maybe they have more wins than 2. Because he kind of gives them a jump start, makes them feel better, makes them feel like they have a chance to win. In Tennessee, they just got caught off guard. Like, man, the Texans came to play. They're competing. So, anyway, so you're going with the Eagles. I went with UIW. That's your 1911 victory cigar. So, hey, but coming up, we got the man, the myth, the legend. Man got more money than I could think of. We got Jason Minnix coming up here at 8 o'clock. I need to get his thoughts on the Cowboys. I need his thoughts on UT. I need his thoughts on the Roadrunners, and I need his thoughts on the UIW Cardinals. So we got a lot to talk with Jason Minnix about. He's going to join us via StreamYard. Probably I don't know how long we're going to keep him. We're going to keep him as long as he wants. This is his station. This is Jason's station. So his name's all over the TVs in here. He's the man over here. So we're going to be joined by Jason Minnix. How long is this break? I don't know. Few minutes. Y'all sit tight, man. We're going to have a good time. It's R&K in the morning.
The Blitz. Sports talk and everything else.
Pledges Houston Texans. He's on pins and needles as they go to play Cleveland.
For a different
Pledges,
reason, though.
Yeah, you always act like you're on pins and needles, man. You can't sit still. So you're always bouncing around. I never know if you're nervous about the game or it's just, pledge time. What does Rob say? You make coffee nervous? Yeah. You're always going.
Jason Minnix, weekday afternoons 4 to 7 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for the Institute for Functional Health and Dr. Jacob Torres. Are you overweight? Are you looking to lose some weight permanently? I'm not talking about going on a short-term diet to drop a few pounds. I'm talking about literally changing your life, improving your medical outlook, and just finding a way to get it done. If you're like me, I'd always thought about dieting and toyed with it, but had never actually gone on a diet. And I realized after time that even though I was way overweight, a guy like me was not going to go on a diet. I met Dr. Jacob Torres, and he explained to me what the functional health in the IFF actually means. And it comes down to, functionally, are you operating at peak level? Are you bringing in the right energy to manifest during the day? And if you're not, you're probably adding weight. Dr. Torres explained to me what to eat, how to eat, and all of that goes along together, and it has literally changed my life, and I want that for you. Give him a call and find out. It's 210-468-1891. Their website is iffhealth.com. They have changed my life. They will change yours. The Institute for Functional Health.
If you've been hurt in a crash, do your research. You'll find plenty of lawyers out there. They'll probably do a fine job. But ask yourself, is fine really good enough for you and your family? Don't leave your case to chance. Contact Thomas J. Henry today. San Antonio, Texas.
1911 Cigars in Cibolo is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas and a must-stop for holiday shopping. Get your stocking stuffers at 1911 Cigars, like cutters, lighters, 5 packs of cigars, and 1911 gear, shirts, hats, whiskey glasses, coasters, and more. 1911 Cigars also offers gift cards, memberships, and lockers. Make your holiday shopping easy and go buy 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
Hey, San Antonio Sports Star listeners, this is Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Thanks to fans like you, you can now buy Kielbasa products just about everywhere. We hope you continue to enjoy our handcrafted, small batch smoked meats because we sure enjoy making them for you. So grab some today and let me know what you think. My number's on the back of every pack. Right by my promise that if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
Hey y'all, I'm Grant Pinkerton of Pinkerton's Barbecue in downtown San Antonio. We only smoke prime meats with a blend of post oak and mesquite. Come see us for some of those giant beef ribs, tender brisket, and a cold big red. We have a Texas-sized bar, great selection of bourbon, and tons of local beers. I love sports, so we have plenty of screens to watch them on. We're open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner or until we sell out. Come early, come hungry, and stay late.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, liquor, wine, and cigars. Follow them on Facebook to keep up with specials and tastings. 4 locations, 2 on Petranco, 1 past 211, 1 in 90 in Montgomery, and the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor next to Walmart Palo Alto Road, Suite 101.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month and no contract. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $299. All on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Since being the first to make wiper blades over a century ago, Trico has protected drivers in any weather. We're always looking ahead, studying your specific driving conditions so you'll be ready for anything. Like, if it actually rains cats and dogs, you can handle every soggy Siamese and drenched Doberman. Your Trico wipers maintain maximum windshield contact for safe, clear driving visibility, whatever the weather. Trico, the future of wipers since 1917. Visit TricoCatsandDogs.com.
Only
on BET. Tomorrow at 11, 10 Central, BET presents Clutch Academy, a 5-part BET Studios documentary.
It's difficult to build an agency from the ground up.
Follow Rich Paul, CEO of Clutch Sports, as they prepare 6 NBA draft hopefuls for the game.
I'm going to be the greatest player ever.
Beyond the game.
This isn't just about playing the game of basketball. It's about playing the game of life.
From executive producers Kenya Barris and Rich Paul comes Clutch Academy. Premieres tomorrow at 11, 10 Central, only on BET.
It can take a holiday miracle to find time and the motivation to work out. But Peloton has crafted a world-class workout experience that makes it fun, convenient, and easy to hit your fitness goals over and over. Because when your workout is a joy, it's a joy to work out. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. That's onepeloton.com. This Black Friday, get their best offer of the year, $350 off the Peloton Bike Plus. Terms apply. See website for details.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
One team, one mission. Chasing DC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's R&R in the morning. Rudy J, Karl Shoney. And right now, wow, he looks awake. His hair is done. We're joined by the legend, Jason Minnix. What's up, Jason?
Up this early and tried to talk in a long time. So you got to push all the right buttons. And again, the way Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys played yesterday, they pushed all the wrong buttons. But you know what? I'm up. Check. 1,
How you
2.
feeling? No,
Check.
you're in. You're good.
Check.
Don't do
just
that.
Making sure the mic works.
Was that your impression of me when I come on with you?
Yes.
What's up, man? How was your weekend?
My weekend was fantastic until about 4:15 yesterday. To be honest, I mean, Friday I took the day off, went and had a great time on a hunting trip.
Yeah.
And I was so ready for the UTSA game, cut that short, drove back Saturday morning because one of my best friends from high school was in town. His kid goes to UTSA.
Right.
He's stationed over in Germany, and they flew over from Germany to for Thanksgiving. And, his kid's a senior. He's never been to a UTSA game. So he wanted to check one out. This has been in the works for months. Turns out to be the game of the year and really the biggest game of the program for UTSA in a decade, and a hell of a game to be at. But it was fun having those guys in town.
Now, when you're leaving the hunting trip, well, first of all, I can't start right there. Now, I thought the thing with you and RJ Ochoa was y'all only wear the cowboy polo if they win. You're wearing the cowboy polo, so Mondays is cowboy polo no matter what.
See, here RJ's trying to think of a good word for it. RJ will celebrate his team when they do well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on with the Cowboys, win, lose, or draw.
Mm-hmm.
In 1989, I'd be the only kid in school wearing the Cowboy stuff there at Copperas Cove High School. That's my team. So his Victory Polo Monday thing, I've always given him crap about. Because I think it's more important to wear your team colors after a loss. See, Karl Schoening should understand this as an Eagle fan because he gets more opportunity to wear it. You just don't celebrate the wins. I've got you, even when things don't go well. It's just a little harder to put on a day like today.
Now, when you're leaving the hunting trip, are they giving you crap like, dude, you're really going to leave because of UTSA, or did they understand what was going? They understood what was going on. Okay,
they understood what was going on, and because it's hard. I mean, you go up there now. First off, this trip that we get to go on
is not a regular trip.
I understand why Rob Thompson is. What'd you say? Why is Rob gone before I sell the dude out? Is back out? What's going on?
He's waiting on the hog hunt.
He stayed up there, and I don't blame him. Now, you realize you get up there and everything is perfect. The bunkhouse, the amount of food, the alcohol, the fire pit,
right,
blowing stuff up. I mean, the actual hunting is about 3% of hunting weekend, right?
Right.
I mean, and it's an exotic place. So I mean, just watching all the stuff, if you're in a blind, go by, you feel like you're it's just incredible. So I understand why Rob said, I'm staying.
Yeah,
I'm staying. And I would have missed the UTSA game if Wayne and Karen weren't in. And then we have another friend that lives up in Austin. He knew they were coming in, and they haven't seen Earl Bowie in probably 15 years. And Earl came down. We surprised him at the game. Yeah, you met Earl.
Earl is put together.
Dude, so it was kind of
Earl
nice
is put
little,
together, dude. He's jacked.
Let me tell you, that dude.
Is he like Herschel Walker? Does he do 1,000 push-ups a day?
He is pretty high up with the DPS.
Okay.
And looks like he could still play.
Mm.
Coming out of Copperas Cove High School, he played at the old Southwest Texas State for a number of years. His wife is an athlete from Southwest Texas State. I think she just went into their, whatever they call their Hall of Honor. He's got a kid that is twice as big as Earl Bowie is that's playing football over. I mean, Earl's a good dude, but he hasn't changed since high school, man. I mean, that's it's ridiculous. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys, but good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Yeah, so
he's East Texas type like you, man. He's originally from Jasper, then he moved to Copperas Cove.
Oh,
yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. We don't want him in Jasper. We don't want him in Jasper. Get him out of there. Now, Jason, so you have a friend named Karen. Does she hate her name?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is that sweet tea? Is that sweet tea?
Yes. Yes.
Dude, where's your coffee or your Red Bull?
It is actual sweet tea.
Where's your Red Bull?
I don't drink Red Bull.
Coffee?
I don't drink Red Bull unless it's in vodka.
Oh, okay. Got you. Let's get to the game, Jason. You and I were both there. We got the tailgate for a while, had a good time. We sat down. You disappeared as usual. You're like, hey, man, my buddy's here from high school. I got to go meet him. And then next thing you know, I see the videos of you in the suite. This is just what Minnix does.
You knew where I was going?
I know.
I texted you, boys.
No, I know you did. So what is wrong? What is wrong? I hope I didn't get him in trouble. Yo, hey, what were your thoughts on this game, Jason? I mean, you were there. We're in the building. You've been a part of a lot of football games because of your play-by-play history, because you go to a lot of Cowboy games. You're just a guy that, you get around, you do a lot of live events.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this game and where does it rank?
On the UTSA game?
Yeah.
I mean, to state the obvious, I think it was the biggest win in program history for sure. Probably bigger than the first one. And I think you're comparing a lot of firsts right now. That first year with Larry Coker, and I so appreciated they had Larry Coker there.
It was great to see Larry, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have all of that. To say biggest game in program history, I don't think that's underselling it. But there's a championship game still coming up.
Yeah.
But when you think about top moments in San Antonio sports history, where does that go? I mean, because that Alamo Dome had a feel like, being in the Alamo Dome in 1999.
Right.
When the Spurs were going on that championship run. Now, I'm not going to say it was as loud as when Sean Elliott hit the Memorial Day Miracle, but it was loud in there.
Yes.
And but we got to learn things. I mean, that touchdown happens. I'm ready for the fines to be there. I'm ready for the flags to fly. We were too polite in storming the field. I mean, in fact, I don't know that you could call it storming the field. We politely walked onto the field, but apparently somebody stole 3 helmets, or 3 helmets got stolen.
UTSA helmets? Who does that?
Oh, well, I mean, people that were on the field.
You know what? Pledge tried to get me to go down, Jason. He was like, Rudy, are you going? I was like, no, I'm not going onto the field. He was like, are you sure?
I'm surprised.
Did you?
I'm surprised.
Did
I
you?
mean, no, I was no.
You were too far
I
up. You were in
did,
the
but
suite. Yeah.
I was in the suite. Thought you would be in the suite, but then I see after the game, Joe Reinagle was down on the field, so I figured you were hanging with Joe.
No,
because
Joe.
we all ended up in the section with Joe Reinagle.
Yeah, well, Joe, like a little bit after you, Joe was like, "Hey, man, I got to make some rounds. I'm gonna make some rounds to these suites and go get some, go get some more adult beverages." So I was like, "Hey, man, do your thing." And I just, because we were able to upgrade our seats, I didn't want to lose mine, so I stayed there.
So for a while, we were up on the suite level. I can't give away all the secrets.
No, don't give them away.
But the bar lines are shorter.
Oh,
upstairs.
you think? Do you think they are?
And there's full bar. So
see, that's the thing.
Like Joe's wife was drinking vodka. Well, right. So, we go up there, and then we were just kind of just BSing because it was halftime with my high school buddies and all that. Then Joe and Maggie disappeared, and then we disappeared into a suite, and then you and Pledge don't return texts. So, off we go until the end of the game, and then it was like, hey, we're all gonna meet up at Pinkerton.
Yeah,
and then you didn't even do that.
I didn't go to Pinkerton's.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to, but I had my wife business call, so we had to go. But what did you think? Catch or no catch? Zachary Franklin. We got to see it.
It was a catch,
right?
It looked like a catch to me. Here's part of the problem. And I know Jeff Traylor's coming on with you in about 45 minutes. I'm going to dip out for that because he's on the Blitz tonight too. And
I
don't
we'll be
want it
gone
to
by
sound
then.
exactly the same, right?
For sure.
But the camera, this is the problem with streaming television. You don't have the same TV packages if you're on regular television. You don't get the same camera angles. And when you hear the ref say that there weren't enough angles, even though we saw some trying to piece it together, they had to go with what they called, even though it looked pretty clear that he caught it. But I thought those refs, even on that spot, were about a yard off.
Oh, you're talking about on the 4th and 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, how are you punting the ball here if you're UAB? You believe in your team.
Gosh.
You just picked up 9.5 yards. Why don't you go for it and put UTSA out of their misery? Instead, they punt.
He'll never get over that. He'll never get over that, Jason. That was going to wake him up 15 years from now. The reason why they beat up UTSA's defensive line all game long, I said, why not go for it in that situation?
I want to look at the history of that coach before I blast him. If he always punts, then let him punt. If he goes for it a lot, if he's like Mike McCarthy and goes for it a lot and he punts in that situation, dude. But if he always punts there, then all right, that's what that coach does. I mean, that a lot of times I might not agree with the coach, but I want to know the why. And if I understand the why, whether I agree with you or not, at least I'm going to feel better about understanding the why and when a coach does stuff.
Yeah. I want you to hear what it sounded like on ESPN Plus real quick, Jason. Listen to this.
Harris drops the snap, throws it to the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown! Oscar Cardenas and the Alamo Dome is going crazy.
Well, not bad for some little old San Antonians, huh?
Who, Karl, who was on the call?
I need to look that up, but I'm pretty sure it was Ed Ogeron.
I mean, if I was like, we're doing some rushing. Who the hell was that?
Have you ever got to call one of those?
I'll check.
You ever got to call one at the buzzer? Football?
Yes. And you go nuts. And I will say this, and I know he's on a competing station. I heard Andy Everett's call.
Was it awesome?
And I thought Andy Everett did a solid job on the call, the understanding the moment of the call.
Mm-hmm.
And then after it, he either lost his voice or did what a good broadcaster should do
just let
there.
It be.
With that kind of crowd, just let the crowd noise bleed in. I thought, and hats off to Andy, who has been through every one of the games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's the only one I know of that has had to sit through every UTSA game.
Great
and
point.
he's been through some dogs. I am happy for Andy Everett.
Yeah, great game. I was happy that we were there. Now, the only thing is, Jason, the conference championship game is at the same time you're on air.
Actually, you're going to be doing that show. That's where I'm working in this morning. I've already put in for the day off. I don't know. I mean, can I do my show at?
Can you go to the Dome? Can you go? Can you do it at Pinkerton's?
Oh, you know what? I probably could do it at Pinkerton.
It's a good call.
Maybe do it at Pinkerton's and then just come right over, and I'll hold your seat.
And then get. Well,
I don't need.
Here's the thing.
You don't need me to hold your seat. You got it. As long you just get a $3 ticket and you're good. Which, by the way, tickets go on sale tomorrow for season ticket holders and regular people. The tickets will go on sale tomorrow for the conference championship game.
Because it's a conference championship game.
Okay.
There's no free student tickets.
Really?
And they all go through the conference. So I saw April Lancira tweet yesterday.
Okay.
That she is going to cover the cost of $5,000 for student tickets and is trying to get other business owners to help pony up to try to get from $35,000 to $65,000. But it would be a damn shame for students not to be able to go to a championship game in their building. I can't believe they're not free, but
it's through the conference. It's not a UTSA call.
It's not a UTSA call. So if you're a business owner or you've just got extra money and you want to make sure, I know April is kind of spearheading an effort to try to raise a lot of money, but I know UTSA's athletic department is working with April to come up with a link for those students to be able to do that. But if you own a business and you want to put some money behind that as well and make sure as many students that want to go to that game can go to that game, make sure you do that. But the problem with that show being on a Friday, and I here's where I'm mixed.
Okay.
Say we're doing the show over at Pinkerton's Barbecue, which is a great idea.
It is.
Kickoff is at 6. Tailgating is going to start, I don't know, noon. Hey, Mayor Ron, can we declare that Friday just a complete day off, a Battle of Flowers type day, no school?
Should we
just have a city tailgate party? Because
maybe we should give it a day off, Jason. You might be on to something there. The show at Pinkerton's, a day off for everybody. Make sure we get 65K. Make sure people can tailgate. And Ron is on the sideline talking to Traylor after the game, looking like a bodybuilder, by the way. The mayor is put together. So
you need
I think
some muscle for that defensive line. Here you go. I'm going to put them on my own workout plan. But I only want to work from like 4 to 5 or 4 to 4:15 on that Friday because I want to tailgate.
I want you to tailgate. We've become tailgate buddies. Like we go to your people, we go to my people. And we have a good time. I hang out with your wonderful wife. You hang out with mine. My wife loves you. She likes you better than she likes me. But
that's because I wore the orange.
I had on orange. It was from Walmart. It was from Walmart, but it was orange.
No, it was fair. So we're walking around and showing up. Now, a great listener the other day when I said I didn't want to wear orange literally brought that half zip and left it at the station. Didn't leave a note, didn't sign it. I had no idea. So obviously I'm going to wear that, right?
Yeah.
My wife liked it and went and bought one. So we're twinning at the game. I felt like Jack Thompson, we're wearing the same thing, but we're going to the game. That works. And she was like, do you think Rudy's going to finally show up in orange? Because he said you were last week. And I was like, yeah, no, I mean, Rudy's team player. He's going to go there. Instead, this dude looks like the guy in the commercial rolling up in the tracksuit. And then when he needs to show off a little orange, he just unzips it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Say, I got orange on. But then he zips it back up.
I like my tracksuit. I was feeling fly. I couldn't mess up my outfit. That's the first thing Jason says when he sees me. He's like, dude, what's with the outfit? I was like, I kind of like this outfit, Jason. Damn.
I couldn't pull that up. But that's an outfit that says, look at me. Look at me. I'm Rudy J.
I am a
Please,
look at
somebody
me type
give me
guy.
a free drink.
I'm a look at me type guy. Now, hey, Jason, Karl was looking at some of the predictions. Now they're, and this is all tentative. This is people throwing stuff, see if it sticks.
Just write an article.
Yeah, just read an article. And now they're talking, it could be a possibility where they face San Diego State in L.A.
The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. You like that? The Independence, the New Orleans. You're a bowl game guy. Which one do you like best of those three?
First of all, is this a joke? When did Jimmy Kimmel get his own bowl?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, apparently it's sponsored by his late night show.
That's what I want to know. Great question.
I mean,
it's on ABC at 7:30.
It's on NBC?
ABC.
ABC. Okay, I was going to say, Jimmy Kimmel's not that. Now I know this is a joke.
Yeah.
Every week, those writers put stuff out there, so you'll click on it.
Okay.
It's kind of like the college football rankings. Is the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, what was the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, first off, so I can kind of think about the history of it? Or is it a brand new bowl?
I'll check, but I think it's brand new.
All right. So,
it's at SoFi.
Well, I know it's at SoFi, and I know the article you're referencing. But when I saw it, I thought it was a bit of a joke when I saw it floating around on Twitter. Like, really? One, I didn't know Jimmy Kimmel had a bowl, but I know in that new stadium, they're trying to add events there because they need to sell a lot of popcorn to pay for that scoreboard,
$5 billion. Yeah, you got to pay for that thing.
But I'm down with wherever. Well, I want to say wherever. A couple things I want to look at in all seriousness.
Okay.
Because I know I've said on my show a number of times, I want the New Orleans Bowl. Just because I want the good party weekend. I mean, I want a good. I want to go to New Orleans for no other reason than it's New Orleans. I mean, UTSA fans have gone to Albuquerque and Dallas. UTSA fans deserve a good travel destination. That's not necessarily Shreveport. No offense to Shreveport, but a couple of things as we look at them now, 11-0, a chance to. And again, they still got to take care of business. They can't let down against North Texas. And then, of course, you got your conference championship game. But at this point, is it on Real TV and what channel? Okay. So is it on ABC or is it on ESPNU, right? I think ABC. That matters.
Okay.
So Jimmy Kimmel Bowl is on ABC. What is the payout?
Oh.
Is it, a guarantee over $1 million or is it $2.5 million, which I think the bowl in Shreveport on ABC, and we'll pay for Jeff Traylor for a year, right? So you look at that. If you are Lisa Campos and the business side of things, but a weekend in LA or a weekend in New Orleans, I'm down either way.
Well, this is the thing, Jason. Y'all already took me to Oxnard, and then we got to visit LA. We'll be in LA in February. I'm going New Orleans. I mean, I don't need to go to LA 3 times in 6 months.
I'm
not complaining.
No. And again, I mean, you think about it, that's just for work. Remember, I went out there for a Foo Fighters concert that got canceled. Then I had to go back. I think at this point, I think I've got 23 hotel nights in California
Are you
this
serious?
year alone, which is dumb. They're going to start taxing me if we go back this calendar year for the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
Right.
But I like New Orleans. I think it's way too much of a long shot for them to go to the Fiesta Bowl and be a part of the New Year's Six.
I would love that.
Which I wouldn't mind that either. I already pay for an apartment in Phoenix, so I got a place to stay.
Yeah, you good. That would be awesome, though.
But just knowing, it's funny. It used to be, can UTSA get bowl eligible too? What bowl do we want to go to?
I know, right? Now we
being
picky divas now. Like, no, we don't want that. We want this. So, at first, we just wanted a bowl. Now we're being picky.
And I think we've kind of blown through headlines here with Karl.
That's cool.
But we'll figure it out. But let's also give some love to one Trinity. Their season did come to an end over the weekend. A tough loss against one of the best teams in the country, Mary Hardin Baylor. I don't know how you're Trinity and you go undefeated, get your automatic qualifier to the D3 playoffs and get stuck having to play one on the road, 2 against Mary Hardin Baylor. But Jeremy Urban and his team over there, great team. They end up losing to Mary Hardin Baylor, which likely ends up winning the national championship. UIW, they are going to host Stephen F. Austin this Saturday over there at Benson Stadium. They're saying pack the nest. That's what they're trying to do.
Okay.
And the fact that they are hosting is a big deal because you have to bid that out and guarantee a certain number, dollar number to the NCAA. They probably don't hit that even if they oversell out the stadium. But that's a big deal for Eric Morris and Cam Ward and that team. It's 2:00 on Saturday. So if you're looking for something to do, UTSA on the road against North Texas, 2:00, Stephen F. Austin, and they've got a good team. Go watch some more good college football. And Cam Ward is worth the price of admission.
Absolutely.
Just going to watch him play.
He's a monster.
And then if that game kicks off at 2, they got Light the Way going on at UIW. So you leave the stadium and then go look at all the Christmas lights and everything they have there on the UIW campus. That's going to be a good Saturday.
Okay. Hey, can you hang with us and do a Cowboy segment?
Do I have to?
You don't have to. It's up to you.
I mean, I thought we were going to do Cowboys at 8, and that's why I've been stretching everything I can about college football.
We're doing Cowboys.
Man, I was pissed yesterday watching the Cowboy game.
Yeah, so we got to pay some bills to make sure everybody's good. Now, also later on this hour, we got some House of Gucci Fandango codes for y'all. I don't know what this movie's about, but Selma Hayek's in it. So
all right,
make sure you get exactly Selma Hayek's in it. So Jason Minnix is joining R&R in the morning. It's Rudy J. Karl Show and Jason Minnix. Sit tight, y'all. We're going to talk some Cowboys and what went on at 325 yesterday.
Sports Center is brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Available at H-E-B.
The UTSA Roadrunners improved to 11-0 in a thriller against UAB, taking the win 34-31. With 3 seconds left, Frank Harris connected with Oscar Cardenas for a go-ahead touchdown and win the Conference USA West Division Championship. The Dallas Cowboys lost their third game of the season to the Kansas City Chiefs 19-9. Dallas will have a short week to prepare for the Raiders on Thanksgiving Day with the 3:25 kickoff. The Houston Texans pulled off the upset of the weekend, going into Tennessee and defeating the Titans 22-13 for their first win since week 1 of the season. And the San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight to host the Phoenix Suns. The Spurs try to snap a 4-game losing streak with tip-off at 7:30. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoening.
Happy hour is back at Twin Peaks, and we're offering up more than just great drinks. Score yourself some chips and salsa for just $2. Your choice of mozzarella cheese bites, chips and queso, or fried pickles, where they're just $4. And the triple play quesadillas or 6 boneless wings, that's right, only $6. Each of these epic appetizers are craveable, shareable, and delicious. And what a deal. Happy hour at Twin Peaks just got better. See you Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m. Again at late night. Get to Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for sure, whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
At CDW, we get that even the biggest jobs need to fit on your lap.
It's true. My entire workday happens right here on my lap.
And you can get it done faster with the performance and security of a device configured by CDW and powered by the Built for Business Intel vPro platform.
Nice. Are you done yet, Mommy? More time for story time.
An even better use of your lap. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Intel client.
Friendsgiving is going to be a little different this year because Capital One's The Match is back on TNT this Thanksgiving weekend with its best edition yet. The 5th installment of this one-of-a-kind event pits 2 of golf's most intense rivals, Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka, against one another in a head-to-head showdown. Watch all the action unfold from the Wynn Las Vegas, November 26th at 4 p.m. Eastern on TNT. You're not going to want to miss this.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too, because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
It's Thanksgiving week, and DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, has your shot to gobble up some winnings. New customers can play free for millions with their first deposit. Nothing goes better with your turkey, stuffing, and pie than feasting on big cash prizes from DraftKings. So you don't want to sleep on this offer. Playing daily fantasy football is simple. Just pick your lineup of NFL stars while staying under the salary cap and score enough points to bring home cash. And with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes, you'll have another reason to be thankful this year. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings app and use code KJM to play free for millions this Thanksgiving weekend. That's code KJM to get a free shot at millions in total prizes with your first deposit. Only at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
This is R&R in the Morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Jeez. A little early for rock, isn't it?
No, that gets you up, gets you moving, man.
Yeah, it does. Well, I wish they would have played this for Dak Prescott in that offense yesterday. Maybe this is what they needed. They managed 3 field goals in a 19-9 loss on the road to the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, there was no Amari Cooper. He was dealing with COVID. CeeDee Lamb goes out with concussion protocol. Tyron Smith, who, in my opinion, Tyron Smith's situation, not because he can't play, but it's just time to close that chapter. Save that money. You cannot count on him. It's not Steele's fault. It's not Collins' fault. It's Tyron Smith's fault for never being available and never wanting to play hurt. I know some people may not agree with that, but that's just the way I feel about it. What the hell was that?
To play hurt or able to play hurt. And
whatever the case may be.
Two very different things, my friend.
Whatever the case may be, what the hell was that yesterday? That I was ready. I waited a week to see 28 points scored. Really?
How often does a game live up to the hype?
Now, I would say maybe 12% of the time.
It's a great number. Leave Roger Staubach out of this. When you look at what we saw,
okay,
the Cowboys going in with whatever was going on with their offensive line, and this is where you look at it and you're trying to get Tyron ready to go, but it's a short turnaround week. And you could tell that the Cowboys, with some of their players, went, all right, we're playing Sunday, Thursday, 3 games, 12 days. You got to have the big picture. It is so much more important for Tyron to be ready and healthy in December. You looked at, and I said this on the Blitz a couple of times last week. The loss to Denver doesn't matter all that much.
No.
Lose to Kansas City and Oakland or Las Vegas doesn't matter all that much because those are AFC teams.
Fact.
So when you start looking at tiebreakers, these games don't matter as much. It's fun for the hype. You could say you're making a statement. I don't know that Kansas City or Dallas, either one made a statement yesterday, unless you want to look, are you a glass half full or glass half empty type?
Mm-hmm.
If you're glass half empty, man, Cowboys, they go in there, they think they're all this, and they got their butts kicked. All right, you know, this is where you miss a DeMarcus Lawrence. This is where you miss a Randy Gregory in the pass rush. Although they got to Mahomes 3 times and got a sack fumble, Micah Parsons did.
Micah can do it all, right, Jason? I mean, should they move him to the defensive end? I mean,
No.
Okay, you're
He
fine
doesn't
with
have the
raising.
body size to do that every play.
Okay, go ahead.
But while we'll hammer the offense for not getting anything done, knee injury for Zeke, and he was out there trying to tough it out. Offensive line didn't protect, and we've seen Dak, like a lot of quarterbacks. Look at Ben Roethlisberger. When you don't have protection, it's hard for those plays to develop downfield.
Yeah,
so
5
then
sacks yesterday.
You start to resort to a lot of screen passes.
Oh my gosh! I think they just threw another one. How many screen was that last night?
Oh, it's the only thing they could do.
Right.
I mean, nothing was developing downfield. You're without Amari, then you lose CeeDee Lamb, and now all of a sudden Gallup and Cedric Wilson and Noah Brown and
the drops. Those dudes' hands were terrible yesterday.
Dude, those guys aren't ready for the moment.
Okay.
Cedric Wilson wasn't ready for the moment.
Okay.
You could tell. Gallup, he had that one drop, but he got separated from the football. I mean, I
yeah,
know
that was just a good play.
One. So you didn't even have your receivers bailing you out. There was that one play where Noah Brown, the pass was a little bit behind, and he ended up dropping it, sliding it. He should catch that. That
That's
will
a
go
catch.
on the quarterback.
He's supposed to catch that, right?
He should. But they didn't. They didn't ever really try to establish the run. I mean, I look at Zeke with 9 carries, Pollard with 7. That's on Kellen. 43 passes for Dak Prescott. But again, though, we saw that. You go back to Tampa Bay. You go back to some of the games. What is the defense giving you? Kansas City's defense is good, but they're not keep the Cowboys out of the end zone good, right?
The Cowboys made them look like the 85 Bears. I was like, what's going on? The Chiefs defense is improved, but they're not that good.
But on the flip side, while this offense is built to score 30 points a game and couldn't find the damn end zone yesterday, this defense is built for that offense to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They held Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes to under 20.
A great job
Patrick
by the defense, right?
Patrick Mahomes did not get a touchdown pass.
Wow.
I mean, so when you think about what we saw yesterday, none of us was thinking 19-9.
No.
I mean, we thought the over-under was low, like, and what the point spread was, all of that. I think you give a lot of credit to the Cowboys defense and the offense. I don't want to sound excusey, but you're missing too many guys.
I agree. And to me, that's what I said. I don't think the Chiefs defense is as good as the Cowboys made them look, and I thought Cowboys defense did well. Now, my question to you, Jason, is considering what we talked about with December, don't you let Zeke get better and just sit home and eat turkey Thursday?
No.
You want him to play?
It depends on how bad the injury is. And when he first rolled that thing going on the sideline, I was like, well, the bone ain't sticking through. So, I mean, that's it. But he stayed in the game. So if he can play, he's going to want to play. And just even the thought of him out there is going to help. The Raiders are no world beaters. We've seen that. They're a sinking ship.
Yeah, they're coming back to earth.
You could give them a little bit of a rest, but
only because of the 3 games in 12 days, man. The 3 games in 12 days. First of all, shame on the NFL.
They do this every year.
Yeah, considering you, but just stop telling us that you care about player safety. You want to go to 18 games. You give a team 3 games in 12 days, and then you sit there and say, well, we care about players' health and safety. No, you don't. No, you don't. Just stop telling us that. That's all I ask.
And again, hey, you're playing on a Thursday, so you know what? We're going to have you on a road trip the following Sunday. Now, granted, it's Kansas City. It's a short flight, but it's going to be a very short week for everybody involved. I mean, Raiders, boy, they get beaten and they've got to travel. I mean, there's no way to do it, but you're right. I mean, to talk about player safety and then turn around and do this, it's dumb.
McCarthy just told us just this past Friday, and it's funny you bring this up about we're talking about Zeke. He just told us this past Friday, Zeke runs so hard, he's not even ready to practice until Wednesday. Like Zeke is just so even on a week where he doesn't get banged up, it takes him to Wednesday to get going. So now you add on top of just his regular schedule, this knee situation. So there's that. But let me ask you something, Jason. And I got this guy on Twitter came after me yesterday, right? About Mike McCarthy. He said, he tells me, hopefully you'll ask him what the hell went wrong tonight and not give him these lollipop questions on Friday. Now, if you were talking, first of all, we're not on Friday, so we won't be talking to Coach McCarthy. But what would you be talking to Coach McCarthy about today that's not lollipopish? If you were talking to him this week, what is something that you feel is fair game that would be considered not a softball? What fastball questions would you have for McCarthy this week?
Well, I mean,
because they just got beat. They have injuries. Like, what's the tough question that I'm supposed to be asking?
Do a better job with your speech, Coach. They didn't look ready to play. They came out flat. Here's the thing, because I miss talking to the Cowboys head coach.
I know
week.
You do. You want to start sitting in with us? You want to come in?
No, I did breakfast with the Blitz last year, man. It ain't worth getting up at 3 a.m. or whatever. 5. What time's he on? 6:40?
6:45. Yeah.
It might as well be 3 a.m.
Yeah.
When I look at when you're talking to the Cowboys head coach, or whether you're talking to Jeff Traylor after a loss, or Eric Morris, I mean, you're talking to a coach, and it's not in the heat of the moment. I just want to know the why, right? Why did you do something? Because clearly, as a coach, you put together a plan that you thought was going to work. When Jeff Traylor comes on at 9 o'clock here in a little bit, say, man, Coach, what are you going to say? Your defense in the first half really sucked. What'd you do?
No, you're not going to say that. That's not how you're going to word that.
I mean, but you can. You just got to word it better. But
yes,
clearly,
a lot better.
Clearly, they did something. What adjustment did they make in the second half? Because in the first half, you couldn't get a stop. Well, do you think they put together their defensive game plan going, well, this isn't going to work, but let's try it anyway? No, they put together a plan they think is going to work. Every coach deals with this with every call, right? Every coach, and they'll tell you this. If it works, they're a genius. If it doesn't work, they're an idiot.
Right. But, dude, this is also the thing. I've talked to him 9 times. 7 of them were wins. What are we talking about? Like, people act like you're supposed to be. First of all, I'm more Ahmad Rashad than Jim Gray. Okay?
Right.
I'm Ahmad. Okay, Ahmad Rashad never asked Jordan a tough question in his life, and all he did was travel the world with him on his G5 and smoke Cuban cigars. I'm okay if that ends up being my career.
Well, there's 2 things that go into play here. Just pulling the curtain back, and I've said this throughout the years, especially when people used to say with Jason Garrett. And Jason Garrett used to piss me off, and I even asked him, no matter what I asked him, I felt like he had little notepads and index cards, and whatever I asked, he would just pick up an index card and read it. I mean,
you didn't get anything from it, right?
He's such a robot.
Right.
Mike McCarthy gives you real answers.
He does.
At the very least.
He does.
But the other thing you don't want to do is be the guy. I mean, you realize Mike McCarthy does 2 regular interviews with the Cowboys head coach. He does 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, and he does us here in San Antonio. That's it from a regular standpoint. You don't want to be the guy that causes the company to lose that.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. I'm glad you have. This is what I need the people to hear.
Now, you can ask tough questions. He's a big boy. He can handle it, and he knows it's
well.
coming.
See, I leave those to Rob. Rob does the tough. Rob does the tough questions, and I do the lollipop. I'm every week before we come on. I'm like, Rob. So you got the clock management. You have the not going for it on 4th. Like, I give Rob all of those, and then I come in like, hey, man, what's going on with you? How you doing? That's me. I'm Ahmad Rashad. Okay? And I'm fine with that.
But again, though, ask good questions.
Yes.
And figure out, I mean, things didn't go right in this one.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I won't get to talk to him about it because, again, I won't talk to him until next Friday.
I'm trying to get him on tomorrow.
Oh. Well, yeah. If that's the case, then I got some fastballs for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to ask the important questions.
Yeah. Now,
does he call stuffing, or does he call it dressing? And how does he like his bird? And is he a cranberry guy? I mean, what kind of pie at the end of the day? I mean, those are the tough questions that people really want to know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of them, but now this is what I'll say to you though, Jason. And we're all both up against it, so I need a quick answer.
Sure.
Considering he didn't have everybody, I consider elite when things are going bad, you still find a way, whether it be injuries, play calling, bad officiating. Do you question Dak being elite at all after a game like yesterday?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. No different than, the quarterback in Buffalo is Josh Allen is still elite, even though they laid an egg yesterday. Aaron Rodgers is still elite, even though they lost a game yesterday. I mean, you look around, the Tennessee Titans are still one of the best teams in the AFC, even though they just lost to the Houston Texans. I mean, what do you say about what you saw yesterday? Even the Lions almost got a win yesterday. Thank God they were playing the Browns.
Yeah, great point. Hey, man, look, you texted me last night. Hey, no, Rob, if you need me, I got you. I appreciate you breaking your schedule for me. Helped out big time. Brought some good insight. You let us know we got to pack the nest. I wanted to get your thoughts on UIW because, again, nobody else, and I'm comfortable saying that, and I don't listen anywhere else, but nobody else is making sure you stay up to date on UIW except the Blitz every Thursday at 4:30. Coach Eric Morris of UIW. Shout out to Trinity as well.
Except this Thursday. Eric's going to be on today.
Oh, well, yeah, you ain't going to be on Thanksgiving. So he's coming on today?
Yeah, Eric's coming on today.
So I wanted to get
I'm not working the rest of the week.
Oh, you're not even on work tomorrow?
I think I got to do halftime, but I'm not doing the Blitz. My daughter flies in at 5.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming on, man. Big time. We had a great time. Good stuff. Have a great show today.
Throw those fastballs to Jeff Traylor coming up.
What fastballs? He's 11-0. Have a good day, brother. I'll see you.
All right, man. We'll see you, boys.
All right, man. That's Jason Minnix. He's on the Blitz every day, 4:30. This week is going to be a little bit different, so check in. Like he said, he's not going to be doing the Blitz tomorrow. His daughter flies in. She's an Arizona State Sun Devil. She's working on that master's degree, so shout out to her. But we got to pay some bills, then we're going to get in and out, and then we're going to be joined by Coach Traylor at 9 a.m. It's R&R in the morning.
The place where time stands still. With each down is a battle of inches.
How about 83 yards from Prescott to Elliott?
This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
The Root Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Root Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Root Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
A great meal starts with great meat. Rob Thompson here for Tri-County Meat Market. They're locally owned and full service. Tri-County has carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, upper choice. Tri-County has everything you need for your grilling game, from beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. Don't forget to stock up on their 5 for $25. Tri-County Meat Market on Huebner, on Ralph Fair. Head over, first responders. You get 10% off. That's Tri-County Meat Market.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
The Marion Brighton Holiday Auction and Raffle is here again for the holidays. Shop for your holiday gifts and buy raffle tickets to win big now through December 12th. The raffle grand prize is your choice of a 2022 Chevy Silverado or Ram 1500 truck from Ancira. Proceeds benefit Brighton Center and the children in our community. Go to brightonsa.org to purchase and see official rules for complete details. That's brightonsa.org.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
The 1947 Notre Dame Fighting Irish entered the season with quarterback Johnny Lujack, the Heisman favorite, and an offensive line considered one of the greatest in college football. The talented Irish squad didn't disappoint. They went on to an undefeated season and won the national championship after defeating unbeaten and third-ranked USC 38-7. 46 players went on to play in the NFL.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Just like in football, there's nothing like that one perfectly timed addition to get your team off and running. That's where LinkedIn steps in. LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 770 million professionals to find the right people for your role. Then their filtering and prioritization tools help you narrow down to just the most qualified candidates for you. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn #1 in increasing the quality of hire versus leading competitors. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports.
It's heart-stopping, rim-wrecking, ball-arching action.
Ball 3, got it!
College hoops are happening, and we've got the action and excitement you love. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, it's Greeny, and I've only got 10 seconds, so here's my plug. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
All right. Back here on R&R In The Morning. Going to be joined by Coach Traylor here. About 6 minutes, so we're going to get in and out here. You want to do this Fandango real quick?
Go ahead. Shoot it away.
So we got this movie, House of Gucci. It's a shocking true story of the family behind the Italian fashion empire, starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Selma Hayek, and Al Pacino. So I guess so we could get in and out. We'll do the third caller. Third caller, right? Third caller, you'll win a Fandango code to see the House of Gucci, and you get to see Lady Gaga and Selma Hayek battle it out in a tub of mud. So we'll take caller number 3.
What? Is that really part of the movie? Is that what it says on your read?
No, only reason why I know that is because of Sean Reimer. Sean Reimer, of course, his crazy ass, he told me that. So,
all right.
Yeah, so House of Gucci, starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Selma Hayek, and Al Pacino. Third caller wins a pair of tickets to see the House of Gucci. But we'll get out of here. This way we'll be right on time and we can get all our spots in. We're going to be joined by the 11-0, your San Antonio's head coach. Sorry, Pop. Right. It's just for now. Just let them borrow it for now, Pop. San Antonio's head coach. We'll be joined by San Antonio's head coach, Jeff Traylor, as soon as we get back at the top of the hour.
It's time to get your hoops on. The NBA season is off to a fast start. North, south, east, west.
Step back for 3.
Bang, got it. The courts are firing with board busting and rim wrecking in your face balling.
Deep 3 straight away.
Oh, we got another one. And we got it all covered. Everything a fan like you wants and then some.
Hammers a right hand dunk.
Get the latest on your game on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Arasti. I have a question for you. Are you stuck in pain? Are you living with something that will not let you go, like a soft tissue injuries, a sprain or a strain or a pull, frozen shoulders, plantar fasciitis, bad neck, tension headaches? All of that can be fixed remarkably quick by an Arasti provider. Now, when I bring up Arasti, people always ask me, what does that mean? I'm talking about a non-invasive procedure, not surgery. We're not talking about over-the-counter medications. We're not talking about opiates to dull the pain. I'm talking about a Arasti provider, a medical professional, getting in and fixing the problem. Soft tissue injuries can be fixed a whole lot quicker than just waiting for them to go away, and that is what's great about Arasti. You know what else is great about Arasti? You don't need a referral to go see them. You just make that call. So let me give you the number so you can go ahead and make that call and get yourself out of pain. The number is 1-800-404-6050. No referrals needed, and when you walk in that door, they do accept most insurances. Arasti is not about a long-term treatment program. We're talking about a short-term fix for what has always been a long-term problem. So don't sit around living in pain. Be like Becky Hammond. Be like Clayton Kershaw and Tony Parker, who have used Arasti to get themselves back physically into the game. If you need to get back in the game, do not let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call an Arasti provider today, and I am sure you'll thank me later.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you looking for a job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK 4TP to 85000 to apply. That's WORK, the number 4 TP to 85000 to apply.
You need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, a potential sign of flu or COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Exergen Temporal Scanners are available at Walmart and other fine retailers. Learn more at exergen.com. That's EXERGEN.com. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for sure, whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at exergen.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 9 a.m. here on R&R in the morning. And it's about that time as we do every Monday. We talk to your 11-0 Conference USA Western Division champions, Coach Jeff Traylor. Coach, I barely got my voice back because of you, man. What's going on?
All good, Rudy. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. You've been coaching a while. Where does that one rank, Coach?
It's up there, no doubt. It's because of the adversity we had to overcome. The controversial call on Zakari.
Yes.
And they had to give the ball back to him, and our defense going back out there and stopping them one more time, and us getting the ball back with 60 seconds approximately, and no timeouts, and having to drive 80 yards in that environment when we all know how much it meant to our city, our players, our university. It's up there, no doubt, Rudy. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've been blessed.
Yes.
I've had a few of those in my career. You don't win those state championships without overcoming a lot of adversity, and so I've had some great teams in my career, but that was definitely up there.
Yeah, and you brought up the Zakari. So I saw him come over to you. I saw the ref come over to you after they decided to uphold the call. What explanation did he give you as to why it wasn't over? Because from where everybody in the building was sitting on the replays we saw, it looked like a catch. What explanation did he give you?
Yeah, I'd rather not get specifics just because I don't want to get any kind of fine, but I'll keep it pretty general. Whenever they say the call on the field stands, it means they don't have enough video evidence to change it. And unfortunately, the call on the field was incomplete, and they just didn't have enough angles to overturn the call. And it was unfortunate. But sometimes in football, you've got to be better than the opposing team, better than the officials, and better than the weather, because you don't always get the calls you want. And that's a great learning opportunity for my kids, and they use it as that. There's nothing we can do about it, so we let it go. Obviously, I voiced my displeasure as calmly as I could in that moment, and we were done with it, and we moved on.
You didn't look too calm, but I mean, understandably so. Understandably so, the entire stadium was pretty upset with that call. You know, Coach, the one thing I've talked to you about a couple times this season is the team that comes out of that tunnel in the third quarter. And, you know, they ran the ball on y'all pretty well. I don't think in all the games I watched this season, I don't think I've seen anybody be able to run the ball on you guys like that all year long. What did y'all talk about at halftime and some of the adjustments you felt like you should make against a good UAB team?
Well, they busted us up on their tendencies. They did a good job. So we had some stuff we had to clean up as far as our calls. But more than that, we got some of our calls better. But our kids just played base defense a lot better. Our pad level was better. We tackled better. We struck better. And you know, it's just a couple of things, a couple of adjustments as far as our calls and just being tough. I mean, and we just were tougher in the second half than we were the first half.
Yeah, it's 4th and inches, Coach. The way they have been able to run the ball. I mean, far be it you to coach his team. What are you thinking when they're kind of discussing what they want to do on this 4th down? Speaking of the fourth quarter, it's a 4th down, 4th and short. I don't know if it's 4th and inches or 4th and 1. If they get the first down, pretty much the game is over. If they decide to punt, you know, you guys get the ball back. What are you thinking as they're trying to deliberate what they're trying to do?
I knew he was going to punt. I know Bill. He's a defensive coach.
That's his tendency? Okay.
He believes in his defense, and I knew he was going to give it to us and see if we could go 80 yards with no timeouts. He has that much belief in his defense. And, you know me. Y'all seen me coach now for 22 games.
I think you go for that. You go.
I'm going for it. I go for it too much, Rudy. That's the problem.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I was happy. Don't get me wrong, because, you know, I'm sitting there doing the math in my head. I'm like, okay, there's 2 timeouts. You know, they get stopped, get the ball back. I'm like, get the ball back around 107, 110. That's enough time for Frank Harris to do his magic, and that's what happened. That drive again, Coach. The Southern Miss tested me. You know, it tested me. You know, I got a few gray hairs from Southern Miss, but I got a full beard of gray after this one, man. That was a hell of a drive to end that game.
Well, there was a lot of plays on that drive, but there's one play that hasn't been talked about.
Which one?
Much. Obviously, the big pass down the middle
right.
of Oscar was huge, but the play that JT made to get out of bounds,
to
stop the clock, is not being talked about enough. For him to break that tackle and get out of bounds with 39 seconds left, which allowed us to then throwing the ball down that sideline, we had no timeouts. And for him to have the presence of mind, and I'll give Coach Lundy and our staff credit, we do work 2-minute drill every week, but for him to get out of bounds was as big a play that's not been talked about enough. As another big play in the game, remember when it's 3rd and 16, Frank checked the ball down to Sincere, who gets just enough for Hunter to make that field goal. I mean, there's so many little plays in that game that are kind of overlooked because we're all talking about Oscar and his catch. But that's what championship games are, right? There's always those plays people don't even remember, but they're all important in a championship game.
And you brought up Hunter. I mean, he's been clutch all year long. I'm talking about he's made some big field goals. And again, I'm a kicker guy. You know, I feel like they don't get enough credit, and I feel like they get all the blame if they miss one at the buzzer. But Hunter's been so. I mean, we could go down the line, right? I mean, you talk about your players every week. We could go down the line. I'm sure like we could talk. We haven't even talked about the offensive line and the job that they've done all year long. But Hunter, he's been huge.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and he's an easy guy to root for. He's just he's in that single digit, which means he got voted in by his teammates.
Wow.
So the respect they have for him, for those culture pillars. He's a yoked up dude. He lives in the weight room with those guys. I mean, he's a man's man. And he's one of those super seniors that came back. And I think that'll be a senior day those guys will always remember.
You know, I pay attention to you a lot on the sidelines when I'm at the game, Coach. Talk a little bit about, because now when y'all huddle up on the side and you're doing your thing, you kind of, I'm not saying that you don't have any input, but you kind of let your coaches kind of do their thing, and you may peek your head from what outside looking in from the stands. You might peek your head in there, then you kind of just fade back. Talk about the trust you have in your assistant coaches into like relaying the message and getting done what you guys want to get done.
Well, I'm just not one of those guys that really cares how much people think, I'm doing, and I want my coaches to be empowered.
Right.
I want my players to be empowered. There's a reason they have headsets on. I mean, you can communicate. You don't have to have the TV on you to let everybody know what you're doing. All you got to do is just talk into your mic, and every one of them know what you're saying. So you don't have to be in the huddle beating your chest so everybody knows you're the head coach. I just don't care about all that, Rudy. I care about my coaches having the freedom and the power to make decisions. I want my coaches, my players to have the freedom and the power to make decisions on the field. And that's what I think great leadership is. If everybody's got to be that dependent on me, why do we need all those people?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a dictatorship, and we don't need a dictatorship. I live in America, and I like it to be where people have some freedom, and they have ownership in the game. That's why so many more of our coaches, we didn't have any coaches leave last year. They all stayed. How you treat people is very important. I just try to treat people, Rudy, the exact same way I wanted to be treated when I was an assistant. I wanted a clear job description. I wanted to be held accountable, but I want somebody to get out of the way and let me do my dadgum job. And that's what Dr. Campos, the president, aimed me to do for me. And that's what I try to do for my coaches as well.
Right. And the tickets for the conference championship game, those go on sale tomorrow, Coach. But now if I hadn't been watching y'all all year, I know y'all go game by game, but talk about the dynamic of knowing you're in the conference championship game, but you still have a game on the road against North Texas. Talk about the dynamic of that and trying to just stay focused on North Texas and worry about December 3rd, the week of that game.
Yeah, we're not going to discuss the conference championship game. As a staff, as our players, we all know the deal. North Texas is going to try to ruin our season. And guess what? We're going to try to ruin theirs. If we beat them, they don't go to a bowl. If they beat us, we're not undefeated anymore, right? So we got as much to play for as they do. I mean, we'd love to keep them at home and not go to a bowl game on their own field. And they'd love to ruin our perfect season. So we got a lot to play for as well.
Yeah, I see a few thousand people came down onto the field, Coach. Were you a little shocked seeing I wouldn't call it a storming. It was kind of like everybody just kind of casually just walked onto the field, and then I see the picture. The mayor came and said hello to you. Was that a little bit weird for you?
Ron's been great since I've been here. He's been very involved.
Right.
We've done breakfasts together. He has just been huge for us. So we've developed a friendship since the day I've gotten here. So it wasn't weird just because I have such a good relationship with him. But, he's a busy man. And for him to be there and be that supportive, and he's been to a few of them. He always texts me. He always lets our team know what's going on. He's always doing something to help our kids out. He's just been fantastic.
Yeah. One last thing before we get you out of here, Coach. I'm gonna tell you something, man. We're a proud city, and we feel like a lot of times, when you talk about Houston, Dallas, we're overlooked, and we kind of taken on the same. We've kind of had the same mantras y'all have had, the entire season. So for y'all to slap the 210 on the helmet, I hope y'all know down there at UTSA how much that meant to the city to see. Considering all eyes are on you guys, and y'all are starting to get a lot of the national exposure. For y'all to put the 210 on the helmet, which turned out to be one of the games of the year, that meant a lot to the city. And trust me, I got my ear to the streets. I know what's going on out here. That meant a lot to us.
Well, again, as you made your point earlier, my equipment guy, Tyler Renard, Stretch is what we call him. He was all over that. I'd given him the idea of it. I didn't know how to pull it off. Obviously, I don't have that kind of talent. But Stretch is fantastic at that kind of stuff. And those were all his ideas. His equipment guys got it done. And it was an unbelievable look.
It was.
It was just clean and classy. But it's very important that the city knows how much we want to be their team. And we just thought it was another way. And I think it's the more and more we talk about the 210 Triangle Toughness culture, I think it's going to also make the city really appreciate that those kids that wear that 2, that 1, and that 0, it wasn't a coincidence. Our captains were the 2, the 1 and the 0 Saturday.
I didn't even catch that. I appreciate you letting me know. I didn't even catch that one, Coach.
Well, go back and watch pregame. You'll see it, man. The 1 and the 0s who called the toss, and that's intentional. That's not coincidence.
Yeah, man. Again, thanks for coming on. Well, I'm gonna be with you, Coach. I'm gonna stick to North Texas. Good luck against North Texas, and we'll talk about the rest of the stuff next week. Great win. I was so glad to be there. Nothing wrong with people that watch it on television, but if you weren't there, I sure hate it for you. You had 35,000 plus, and hopefully we can make it 60 when we get to talk about that. So thanks for coming on, Coach. Great win, and good luck against North Texas.
I would like to mention one thing.
Yes.
April and Syria is doing a fantastic job right now of help.
Yes.
With this going on, our students don't get in free because it's now a neutral site supposedly, right? So there's been a lot of people stepping up, raising money so we can get our students in that game free. So we got to keep that crowd rocking. That's been a huge, huge reason we're winning these ball games. All these penalties these teams are getting. Both Southern Miss and UAB said our crowd were better than Georgia and Alabama. So that's a tremendous tip of the cap to our city. Thank y'all so much. God bless and birds up.
Birds up. Appreciate you, Coach. Have a good week. Good luck against North Texas. Yes.
Thank you, Rudy. Appreciate you.
No doubt, Coach. No doubt. Great win. I can't believe I was there for that. But yes, Jason brought it up and Coach brought it up again. April and Sarah stepped up. She's donated $5,000 because the student tickets aren't free for the conference championship game. She stepped up and she's put $5,000 toward, helping these students get tickets because, again, they're a big part of the crowd as well. So if you know any business owners that want to help out and make sure the students get their tickets, because y'all know a lot of people know how it is being a college student. You don't always have 40, 50, 60 bucks to go to a football game. Money sometimes for college kids is tight. So big, huge shout out to April and Sarah and the people over at Ansera, and for anybody else who wants to step to the plate and help these students get in the game so we can pack the dome for that conference championship that we're not going to talk about until next week. He
North
made that
Texas
clear.
has won 4 in a row. It looked like they were dead in the water, and they're on their way to maybe making a bowl game. They're playing for their bowl lives.
Yeah, so you know what? Let's stick to North Texas. I'll roll with Coach on that. We'll stick to North Texas. But again, I just wanted to ask him about, just trying to, because it's a weird spot to be in. I mean, you're already in. But then again, you still have your undefeated season to play for. I think it would be easier to look past this game. Let's say they had 2 losses and they're already in the conference title game. Then it's maybe like, hey, maybe we rest a guy or 2. I don't know. But when you still got an undefeated season on the line and you're trying to get to a better bowl and you're trying to get higher in the CFP, they still have plenty to play for. And as he said, they're trying to ruin North Texas season. So we'll stay in the moment for now. We'll talk about Conference USA title game next week. I
think that's a good call.
But for now, so shout out to Coach Traylor. Shout out to April and Sears. Shout out to the fans, everybody. And the I guess the guy who made up the helmet, Stretch. Shout out to Stretch. I love the helmet, Stretch. Great job. But for now, let's get to the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
I'm sorry, Rudy J.
Oh, my gosh.
Chicago
Why
Bears
are we
quarterback
talking about
Justin
them?
Fields exits the game with injury to ribs. Initial tests show no break, per source. Bears rookie Justin Fields ruled out for the second half of Sunday's 16-13 loss to the Baltimore Ravens with an injury to his ribs. Although they will go further testing on Monday. He won't reveal any broken ribs to Adam Schefter. And Fields walked back to the locker room early in the third quarter after the first series being examined in the blue medical tent. It's unclear on which play he suffered the injury, but the first-round pick was hit often by the Baltimore defense.
Yeah, and this is part of the reason why Matt Nagy, a lot of people give Matt Nagy a lot of crap, but Matt Nagy's been to the playoffs twice. I think people forget that with Mitch Trubisky, but this is a part of the reason why he didn't want to play Justin Fields, because he knew his offensive line wasn't good. He knew just technically and just what you need to be as far as a quarterback in the NFL. He just knew it wasn't time for Justin Fields to play yet. So, and this is what happens when you have a bad offensive line. You have a QB that's still learning the game, still trying to get the game to slow down. Sometimes you're going to end up getting big hits. It's the NFL. People get hurt. We're in week 9, week 10. So it is what it is. Yeah, Siberian Andy Dalton versus Tim Boyle on Thanksgiving. I don't even think my family's going to allow us to watch that. I don't think my sister or my brother-in-law are going to even allow that game on their television. As again, I said, Bears versus Lions is the cranberry sauce of Thanksgiving Day games. Nobody wants it. Moving along quickly.
All righty, sounds good.
Headline 1.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers rule out Antonio Brown for Monday Night Football. This one comes from Jenna Lane of ESPN. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Antonio Brown, who was accused this week of obtaining a fake COVID-19 vaccine card, has been ruled out for Monday Night Football against the Giants, Bruce Arians said Saturday. Brown has not played since suffering an ankle injury in Week 6 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Although he has made progress, Brown did not practice with the team this week. Earlier this week, Brown's former live-in chef, Steven Ruiz, also took on the role of personal assistant, accused the veteran wide receiver of obtaining a fake COVID-19 vaccine card, and said that Brown had obtained it from a Buccaneers teammate. What a can of worms that would be if maybe that's Tom Brady.
Man, this is the thing. So is he out because of the ankle, or is he out because they want him to prove that card isn't fake?
That they did not specify, which is why I quoted Jenna Lane. I'm saying I'm not insinuating anything. She's insinuating things.
Weird story. Antonio swears it's not fake, and he swears he has proof it's not fake. So, I mean, it is what it is. But this is a part of having Antonio Brown. This is what comes with it. You know, there's going to be drama with it. And that's part of the reason why Bruce Arians was hesitant to bring him in. But when Tom Brady says, no, I want him, and you end up winning a Super Bowl, it's hard to say no. But I think this has to do with this vaccine card. This has to do with that, and I think they want proof that it's not fake before they allow it back onto the squad or allow him back around the team, for that matter.
Tampa Bay did say that
they were 100%.
They're 100% vaccinated, and everybody turned in their vaccine card to the Buccaneers personnel to review it. So, all I'm insinuating, and this is probably a worse insinuation than what Jenna Lane is, maybe there's some Buccaneers that band together and use their multimillionaires to maybe figure something out. I don't know what might be going around, but the agent for Antonio Brown did say, however, that he's already been vaccinated and he would get the booster shot on live television if he needed to.
Okay, well, we'll have to see. More importantly, Tampa Bay's lost 2 in a row. And they play tonight, so they need a win. Forget all the Antonio Brown stuff. They need a win tonight to, make sure you keep pace with the Cowboys, the Green Bay Packers, and the Arizona Cardinals, who have won 2 out of 3 without DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray. Moving on.
Headline 0.
This is probably the story of the sports world, so I'm surprised we haven't talked about it yet.
Let's talk about it. I know where you're going.
LeBron James draws blood on Stewart's face in Pistons-Lakers melee. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw it. So this is the thing. LeBron didn't – I'll be the first guy to throw him under the bus when he deserves to be thrown under the bus. LeBron's credit report is flawless. He's never deliberately tried to punch somebody. Was it a little excessive, the whole get off of me situation and cutting the guy's eye? First of all, Isaiah Stewart could never be a boxer if you cut that easy. That wasn't even a full-blown punch and your whole face split open. So I don't think Isaiah Stewart has a future in boxing. And this is also a guy, LeBron James, who's had at least 200 flagrant fouls committed against him. And they've been called regular fouls. LeBron isn't a dirty player. I don't think he did it on purpose. It's unfortunate what happened to Isaiah Stewart's eye, but I'm giving LeBron the benefit of the doubt on this one. Things happen in basketball. LeBron's a big, strong man. And I don't think he did it on purpose. But I will say Isaiah Stewart going bull in a china shop was a bit excessive, considering you were right there in front of LeBron for a good 5 to 10 seconds, and you did nothing. And then when 20 people get in between y'all, you want to turn into Earl Campbell. Like, bro, if you really wanted to fight LeBron, you had ample opportunity. You had a good 5 seconds to swing on him. You chose not to. So it looked a little... I mean, you can't. When you're acting like that, they're not going to let you get to him.
He did it 4 times. He was like, okay, I'm cool.
Come on,
now
bro.
I'm going to rush him. The craziest part about it was Cade Cunningham tried to stop him. And that's your franchise right there holding you back, and you're just going bull in a china shop. There will be team suspensions.
You think so?
The team will beat the NBA to this. The NBA will do something, and he'll at least fine them. Maybe.
Isaiah may get a game or two, right? Do you think the NBA will fine LeBron? I mean, not fine him, but suspend LeBron?
You know, it probably deserves a 1-game suspension for LeBron.
Even though he's never done anything like this.
No, it just looks a little too obvious. Get off me with intention.
Right.
He got teed up immediately for a hostile act.
Yeah.
They're like right after it happened, the official teed him up.
It was immediately.
Yeah, there wasn't any after the fact review. The official immediately said, "Hey, that's not right, LeBron," and he got a little bit too much animation from Isaiah Stewart because Stewart was that. Almost seemed fake, but then
that's what I'm saying.
But
I'm
then
like,
Gilbert
bro,
Arenas said, "We're going to test you and make sure that's not drug related." Gilbert Arenas went off on him.
Yeah, so I read it. You sent it to our group chat. I read the whole thing. Gilbert is funny. Gilbert's a funny follow. His podcast is funny. Speaking of Gilbert Arenas, now, what also was funny, Carl, was Russell Westbrook was trending because he kind of squared up because he thought Isaiah was going to get to him. And I look up, I'm like, this thing happened because of LeBron. But yet Russell Westbrook is trending. And they came back to win the game. And Kendrick Perkins think this is the game that brings them together and they turn it around.
Melo balled out. And I think Melo had
been balling all year.
He has, but he was a big part of their comeback last night. So was Russ. Melo and Russ really brought them back. And Melo always takes those Detroit games personally because the Pistons said they were going to draft him number 2 overall. And they went with Darko.
They went with Darko, the human victory cigar. Yeah, so I'll be interested to see, 1, what happens with suspensions. 2, I'll wonder if this is the game that brings the Lakers together and they get off the schneid. Because Laker fan is hiding. And when y'all come out of hiding, I'm going to be waiting for you. Because I know what y'all waiting for. Y'all waiting for a good 8 to 10 game winning streak. And then y'all going to come out and say, see, I told y'all we'd be fine. Whatever, man. If you don't say it now. Call your shot early. Don't call your shot after the fact.
I will say this, it was perfect timing because I watched the terrible Cowboys game, and then as soon as that was over, I flipped the league pass, and I was like, yes!
Me too.
Perfect timing.
Me too. That's your 411 and 210.
That's the 411 and a 210.
Good stuff, K-Dot. When we return, the Spurs are back in action tonight. But damn, guess what they got waiting on them? A team that's won 12 games in a row. So, I don't know how that's going to turn out. I'm interested to hear what my man Karl has to say. We got the shoot around. We get back and we'll go around the NBA and look at, a few other teams and see what's going on. So it's R&R in the morning. Karl Schoen, Rudy J. Y'all sit tight.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
The UTSA Roadrunners improved to 11-0 in a thriller against UAB, taking the win 34-31. With 3 seconds left, Frank Harris connected with Oscar Cardenas for a go-ahead touchdown and win the Conference USA West Division Championship. The Dallas Cowboys lost their 3rd game of the season to the Kansas City Chiefs 19-9. Dallas will have a short week to prepare for the Raiders on Thanksgiving Day with the 3:25 kickoff. The Houston Texans pulled off the upset of the weekend, going into Tennessee and defeating the Titans 22-13 for their first win since week 1 of the season. And the San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight to host the Phoenix Suns. The Spurs try to snap a 4-game losing streak with tip-off at 7:30. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoen.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, wine, liquor, and cigars, is now up to 4 locations. 2 on Petranco, 1 right across the street from Walmart. The other is all the way down past 211. Your 3rd location is at Highway 90 in Montgomery in the Lucky Ranch Shopping Center. And the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor is off of Palo Alto in the Patron Plaza right next to Walmart. Again, this was a heck of a weekend for Texas Cheer Liquor. You had the Cowboy game, which ended up being a dub, but no reason not to have some bourbon. The Roadrunners game. It was a lot going on this weekend. Even the great fight, the Crawford and the Porter fight was good, man. I was sitting at home watching that after UTSA, having me a couple of craft beers from Texas Cheer Liquor. So go buy Texas Cheer Liquor or go on the app or go on the website, texascheerliquor.com. See what they got. If you're looking for something they don't have, please, 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 I beg of you, let the owner know he has no problem at all ordering it for you. They pride themselves on convenience, and they pride themselves on making sure they have everything that you could possibly ask for. So that's TexasCheerLiquor.com, the Texas Cheer Liquor app. Beer, wine, liquor, cigar, or kegs. They got it all. Trust me. That's Texas Cheer Liquor.
After a whole month of pro values, Lowe's Provember event is ending soon. But pros like you still have time to save. Plus, when you become a pro loyalty member now through November 24th, you'll get a welcome kit via mail, Lowe's bucket included. It's all part of Provember, going on online and in stores. Lowe's, the new home for pros. New accounts only. More terms and conditions apply while supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/pro loyalty for details. U.S. only.
If you've got an insurance question, you could talk to a dentist. But instead of filling you in on ways to save on your policies, he'd probably be too busy filling in that loose crown. Or you could talk to your local Geico agent, who will use their expertise to polish up your policies, from home and auto to renters, motorcycle, boat, and RV too. So while, yes, your dentist can save your smile, your Geico agent could save you money, which will make you use that smile a whole lot more. To find a Geico agent near you, visit geico.com/local.
Right now, I'm getting bombarded with TV ads, postcards, and emails about Medicare Advantage programs, saying what I may be eligible for and what might be available. But don't tell me everything there is to know. Tell me what I need to know.
Clear up your Medicare confusion with simple, easy answers at EasyMedicare.com. That's the letter E, the letter Z, Medicare.com. Go to EasyMedicare.com or speak with a licensed agent at 1-888-486-1662. EasyMedicare.com.
Speak with a licensed insurance agent or visit EasyMedicare.com Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. EST, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. EST. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, has neither reviewed nor approved this information with regard to the federal Medicare program. EasyMedicare.com is powered by eTelequote Insurance Inc., a private duly licensed insurance agency appointed by Medicare Advantage, HMO, PPO, and PFFS plans and standalone prescription drug plans and insurance companies holding Medicare contracts approved by CMS. Enrollment in any plan for coverage is subject to insurance company approval. This information is not a complete description of benefits. Contact the plan for more information. Limitations, co-payments, and restrictions may apply. Benefits, premiums, and/or member cost share may change on January 1 of each year. You must continue paying your Medicare Part D premium.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about that time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Full Synthetic High Mileage and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the holidays with you with a magical offer to make your dream gift more affordable than ever. Starting this Friday, we're offering 4 years zero-interest financing. Has she been dreaming of a new engagement ring, a bigger diamond, an elegant pair of diamond earrings, or a stunning diamond eternity band? With this amazing offer, you can afford to go big this Christmas. Just pick any item, get the unbeatable value price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 4 years with zero interest. Think about a $9,000 designer ring comes out to just $188 a month. At Diamonds Direct, our showcases are filled this year with gifts you'll absolutely love. Gifts that will last a lifetime. Colored gemstones, all new designer jewelry from New York and LA, and the biggest collection of rare, precious diamonds we've ever offered. It all starts Black Friday. Diamonds Direct special holiday finance offer. Get holiday hours, directions, and see exclusive online Black Friday offers at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Hey y'all, I'm Grant Pinkerton of Pinkerton's Barbecue in downtown San Antonio. We only smoke prime meats with a blend of post oak and mesquite. Come see us for some of those giant beef ribs, tender brisket, and a cold big red. We have a Texas-sized bar, great selection of bourbon, and tons of local beers. I love sports, so we have plenty of screens to watch them on. We're open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner or until we sell out. Come early, come hungry, and stay late.
This is Jerry Jones, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. R&R gets you ready for tonight's game. The shoot-around.
Yeah, buddy. The 4-11 San Antonio Spurs take on the scorching hot Phoenix Suns, who were just in the finals last year, and they're playing like that team that's hungry to get back. They've won 12 in a row, but you know the team in front of you is pretty good when you've won 12 in a row and you're still not in first place. The team in first place is the Golden State Warriors, but I mean, hell, they've won 9 of 10 their dang self. So, but yeah, the Phoenix Suns, this is in Phoenix, right?
No, this is here tonight.
This is here. Are you going to be able to go?
I don't. I have not actually talked to the Spurs about getting a full-time press credential.
Okay,
Should be ready.
They're there.
Do I just show up?
Yeah,
grab it.
You show up and you let them know. That's that little room right there on the side, and they'll have it there for you. I'm almost positive it's there. Chris always takes good care of us.
I don't have media parking though, so I'll have to pay for parking.
No, you should be on that too.
Oh, okay. Then.
Like when you pull into the little media parking lot, she'll ask you where you're from. You're like, hey, ESPN San Antonio, Karl Schoening. Your name should be on that list.
All right.
And then once you go in, they'll give you the media parking and the full season credential.
Worst case, I'll just impersonate my dad.
Yeah.
Bill Schoening. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, let's get into the shoot around, Karl. Let's get to know ourselves. Make sure we're up to date with what's going on with us first before we talk about anybody else.
Know yourself.
I was running through the six with my
What we do know, Karl, is if everything doesn't go right, our chances get slimmer and slimmer. And I think you and I both agreed, I want to say it was last week, we both agreed that the double-digit score number has to be around 6 to 7, right?
That's about right. And obviously that's an uphill battle without Jakob Poeltl, who is one of those guys you could kind of consistently depend on to be one of those double-figure scorers.
I'm hoping now that, he finally got to play last week. Or was it the Minnesota game?
Yeah, he did get, I think, 11 minutes off the bench.
So hopefully now, he's got a few more days of conditioning. He'll be a little bit better because, DeAndre Ayton, who's going through his contract situation, he's still a handful to deal with, and you're going to need somebody that can kind of bang with him, kind of box him out, keep him at bay. But what are you looking for tonight for the Spurs? This is a tough game for anybody in the league, let alone someone as young and inexperienced as the Spurs. What are you looking for from the Spurs tonight?
Hopefully they can. Yeah, this is obviously a lot pending on Jakob playing to the rate he was playing before he caught COVID, but hopefully they can revert back to that top 10 defensive team as they were, because they've dropped all the way down to around 14th without Jakob. And
so Jakob's making up for a lot.
He was somebody who really gets them going on both sides of the ball with his screen assists and just anchoring the defense overall and being that thick guy in the middle that can get rebounds and go up against those thicker guys like DeAndre Ayton. So yeah, that's going to be the main thing, because the Suns last night played in Phoenix against the Nuggets, and they scored 48 points in the first quarter, the most points in a quarter this season. So they are not by any means slowing down on the scorching hot pace that they have found after a little bit of a bumpy start.
What the game? We've only had a small sample size, but what lineup to you feels like the most productive? We could always go and look at the analytics and just see, okay, plus minus, this works. But what lineup to you works best? And it could be a mixture of guys that regularly start versus guys that come off the bench. What lineup to you makes the most sense where you see, like, you know what, there's something here?
It's been inconsistent for me,
Yeah,
too
me too.
inconsistent for me to actually say these 5 are the ones that work.
Same here.
Statistically, one of their better lineups involves Keita Bates-Diop, and that's somebody who
is that because he doesn't need the ball and he's just kind of setting screens and playing defense? Is that what that is?
I think part of it is that he does help plus defensively, and he's not bad offensively, so he kind of lets players like DeJounte and Keldon do their thing while being a floor spacer, but also take a little pressure off of them defensively as being somebody who can switch on screens and, not really missing much of a beat. The real thing is, I don't know if the Spurs know what their best lineup is at the moment.
I don't think so either. That's why I was asking. I was like, you know what? I don't think it's set. That's why I said we don't have a real good sample size. Who do you like? Devin Booker's finally caught fire. I mean, Chris Paul is Chris Paul, but who do you like to match up with Devin Booker? You like DeJounte? You like Derek? You like a mixture?
Well, Vassell might be the team's best perimeter defender after DeJounte.
Oh, after DeJounte.
So, and I kind of want DeJounte on Chris Paul. So that's going to be Derek White's duty. And D. White's also a really good defender. This team's loaded with really good defenders, but it's going to come down to the offensive side of the ball. But also, I don't know. That's a tough one. So DJ on Chris Paul, and I would say D. White to start on Booker, yeah.
And you brought up Jop. The reason I like Jop in tonight's game is because, see, DeJounte's not going to – when you play a guy like a Chris Paul or Steph Curry or Dame Lillard, like, you don't get a fair shake because they call for so many screening rolls. So a guy like Chris Paul who's going to call for the screen pretty much damn near every time he crosses half court, I like Jop. I like Beta-Day Jop because I think he's pretty good at nobody's going to stop these quick guards, for a full 48, but he has enough athletic ability and side-to-side movement to keep him at bay. I don't know. Pirtle out up top with Chris Paul. It seems like Chris Paul is really going to probably try to attack Pirtle, but I would expect to see Jop a lot tonight because Chris Paul runs so many screening rolls.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they decide to do, because the main thing will be is if Eubanks is still starting, I think you sort of lose that rim protector to go up against the JaVale McGee and the DeAndre Ayton. So, Chris Paul loves that lob over the top.
Yeah.
He'll do it 3 times a game. And at the moment, I don't know if the Spurs can defend that effectively.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get to know Phoenix a little bit.
Know your enemy.
It's easy to talk Booker. It's easy to talk Chris Paul, but their meat and potatoes is Bridges, McGee, Crowder, Payne, Johnson, Shamet. Like, they're a deep basketball team. Now, I don't know, maybe deep is a little bit much, but they have quite a few guys that come off the bench and contribute. And then you have a game here and there where Kaminsky will come in and he'll finally have a good game. And of course, we could talk about Ayton, but again, Johnson, Payne, Crowder, McGee, and especially Bridges. I like Bridges a lot. Didn't they just pay Bridges? They just paid Bridges.
I'm pretty sure he's on a pretty good contract.
Yeah, they
extension.
just paid Bridges. So, and then we've seen it up close and personal. I'm not calling them the Spurs, but we've seen when you feel like a championship got away from you, the way you come out. Remember in 2013 when the Spurs lost the title, in 14 they were just on a mission. Nobody was going to beat them. And again, I'm not saying that Phoenix is that. I don't think that 2014 team was one of the best basketball teams of all time, and they broke up the Heatles. But you could kind of see Phoenix is playing with that chip on his shoulder, and it's showing in their 12 victories in a row.
Yeah, they lost 3 of their first 4 to start the season, and since then they haven't lost.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was?
Yeah, they haven't lost a game in November. Their last loss came back on October 27th. So there's that side of it they're due. This is the second night of a back-to-back. They probably didn't get into San Antonio. I was watching that Nuggets game. They beat them pretty handily, but they still had to travel to San Antonio. So, the good thing is they don't play until 7:30, so they can sleep in, but they definitely didn't get in until about 2:30 last night.
Did Joker get to play the whole game?
Pretty sure he was out with a sprained wrist.
Yeah, he was out with the sprained wrist. Okay.
And then Aaron Gordon got ejected. It was kind of a weird ending to the game, but the game was kind of already out of hand. They put up 48 in the first quarter. So, yeah, the Suns kind of put it away early last night.
Okay. Well, let's talk about who's in, who's out, who's hurt, who's not.
Inside the training room.
I hurt myself today.
Talk to me, Karl. What we got on both sides? Who's hurt? Who's not playing tonight?
So Dario Saric obviously continues to be out because he suffered a torn ACL during the first quarter of Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Abdul Nader is out as of earlier this week. I do not see a reason why he's out, as well as Frank Kaminsky, who is out with a knee. He's out indefinitely. That one came down yesterday. And for the Spurs, Devontae Caycock, Josh Primo, and Joe Wieskamp all on assignment in the G League. Caycock, the two-way player, as well as Wieskamp. Primo, I could see any of those guys potentially coming back because they don't leave for Rio Grande Valley, which they play Wednesday, until Tuesday. So, call-ups can happen pretty quickly. But for the Spurs, Zach Collins and Jock Landale continuing to be out. Collins, obviously, the left ankle stress fracture, and Landale, health and safety protocols. It's been a little while for Jock.
Yeah, so Jock Landale, this is the Australian power forward / center who I was thoroughly impressed with watching him in the Olympics. First, it was a concussion, right?
Concussion during the preseason. Yeah, and then shortly after Jakob, he got into the health and safety protocols.
Yeah, I guess so, because I figured at this time, because I've had people on Twitter asking me like, hey, where's Jock? Where's Jock? Where's Jock? So it's been a healthy and safety protocol for him.
It's been about 2 weeks. So usually this means that he's showing symptoms, and then on top of that, he would have to register negative tests after he stops showing symptoms. Plus, then you have to, if you're showing symptoms, you have to pass some kind of
respiratory test, right?
Yeah, a heart and respiratory kind of test. So there's a lot that comes into returning, and then on top of it all, Jakob Poeltl said that it's basically like starting from square one in terms of conditioning because you're just chilling at your home. It's not playing basketball.
Yeah, you can't do anything. So, and NBA shape is it's so different than treadmill, Peloton. Like you just can't. Like Porter could have been riding his Peloton every day. It's still not NBA basketball game shape. So, and I think from what we've seen with Poeltl and then now what we're seeing with Landale, I think the Spurs, while I'm not knocking anybody else, they're taking guys coming back from COVID being a little bit more cautious with it, because again, what we found out about COVID is there's stuff that lingers, and we saw it with Aaron Rodgers. Again, we saw it with Westbrook in the bubble, Cam Newton, the list goes on, Lamar Jackson, the list goes on to players that just aren't the same when they come back. And I think they're handling all their players with gloves, and that's Spurs basketball 101. They do it with injuries, so I don't see why they would be any different with COVID. So good stuff with the shoot around. Tip off at 7:30.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, good luck to the Spurs tonight, man. This is going to be a tough task for anybody. But, hey, you never know. They did beat the Bucks earlier this season, and at some point, the Phoenix has to lose a game, right? Why not tonight? So, good stuff. We'll be back to wrap this whole show up. Man, it went quick. Mondays are so fast. And don't forget, this is a short week for us as far as live on air, but you're going to have college basketball. We're going to have football. It's still going to be your place to be as far as ESPN SA, San Antonio Sports Star, 1250 AM, 94.5 FM. This will be your place to be, but as far as live programming, tomorrow will be our last show of the week. We'll return next Monday. So let's get back, Karl. Let's get out of here and get back and wrap up the show. It was a fun R&K in the morning. Rudy J, Karl Schoening. We'll be back to wrap this thing up.
If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
O'Reilly. Don't miss See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on wiper blades, headlight bulbs, and more. Right now, get up to a $20 gift card after mail-in rebate with the purchase of select Sylvania bulbs. Plus, earn double O Rewards points with your purchase. Get ready for the weather ahead during See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
The original stuffed crust from Pizza Hut is so cheesy you'll want to eat it backwards. But what if we played this song backwards?
One topping, just $12.99.
No one out-pizzas the Hut. Ask for a limited time offer. Not available in some locations. Exclusions apply. Extra charge for more toppings and extra cheese.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Simple Green.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
There's no other game like college football.
The tight end rolls to the end zone.
And no one covers it better. It's game day every day for us. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Carl Schoening on your home for Cowboys football, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
R&R in the morning. Last segment of the day. We will be back tomorrow, but tomorrow will be the last show of the week. Don't forget, Grilling with the Blitz. Upload a photo of what's on your grill and enter a description and recipe, and you could win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Winners chosen every Thursday at 6 on the Blitz. Also, don't forget your Dallas Cowboy ticket giveaway. Simple. Go to sasportstar.com and register to win. Win tickets to every home game on your home for the Dallas Cowboys. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. So, Carl, you're a big movie guy, right?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So you've seen Eternals, right?
Yes.
Seen Eternals. This past weekend, you went to see the Ghostbusters.
And
so how was the movie? And tell me about the environment.
So I did not see the previous Ghostbusters, the one that was an all-women's cast.
I didn't see that one.
I saw it on like rerun, but it didn't quite catch my interest. It was kind of very much for women. This one was for Ghostbusters fans. They worked in over 300 Easter eggs of the original Ghostbusters, the first two movies, and I think that if you were a fan of those two, you would very much enjoy this one. But there were an uncomfortable amount of old men dressed up as Ghostbusters at it was a sold out theater. Yeah.
I refuse to believe that there were men dressed up in Ghostbusters
dozens
suits.
Maybe 2 dozen.
24 dudes in Ghostbusters uniform
and a couple women, I think. Yeah. they had the proton packs and everything. Yo. They had to like put the proton packs down at their feet and then put on these big old backpacks after the movie.
What? Hold on. First,
they had the goggles. Oh, I'm not kidding.
Time out though. Like when there's certain movies where I know it's like it's a cult following where I get when I see people dressed up. I didn't know Ghostbusters was in that category of movies that people felt like that connected to it. Like, I loved Ghostbusters. There's a part of my childhood, like, I can still remember it like yesterday. But I never thought it was the dudes dress up type movie / following. I didn't think that.
It's funny. I apparently found out before the movie that there's actually groups of Ghostbusters. I don't know what they're called, but they're like Ghostbuster groups that raise money for charity around the country.
Oh, okay.
So they just continued the spirit of the movie to be like make appearances. So, because it's still a popular kids movie, the original Ghostbusters in the 80s. So, there are people who are just thrilled that the Ghostbusters are around. That's still a banger for kids, the original Ghostbusters song.
What are you and your lady thinking when y'all seeing 24 dudes dressed up as Ghostbusters? Like, what's going through your mind?
We went to that special VIP screening on the IMAX over at the Palladium that we were giving tickets out to, and we expected it. I mean, I was a little shocked to see that many, but yeah, it's like as long as they're chill. They were really chill. They were a lot of fun. They were there for the joy of it.
I always wonder, like, is IMAX worth it? Is it worth it? Like, let's say you paid. I know. New Ghostbusters movie was awesome, lived up the cult following, lots of Easter eggs. Okay, shout out to B. Is IMAX worth the $3 extra charge? Like, does it feel like a better experience? Because I always kind of like, my wife and I, consider we're not crazy movie people. We never want to pay the extra for the seats and the sound. Like, is it difference?
I don't really think so, but it is if you're going to the Bob Bullock Museum, because not all IMAXs are created equal. They are bigger screens and bigger sound system.
True.
But if you got a chance to see something at the Bob Bullock Texas Museum down at downtown Austin.
See, I've never heard of it. I don't even know what that is.
That is the largest IMAX theater in the state of Texas. It is unreal. That one is.
Is it always sold out, though?
No. I don't think that many people know about it, to be honest with you. I saw like Inception, one of the Batmans out there, Star Wars. It's worth it to see on that IMAX. This was not that IMAX.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got to go. I'm glad you and your lady enjoyed it. And shout out to the guys that dress up like Ghostbusters, man. I mean, do your thing. And I'm about living your truth and not worrying about what other people think of you. So do your thing. San Antonio has AVX, and the one at Casablanca has a screen that rivals the IMAX. See, I go to Casablanca, but again, I never want to give them, because if I go, my wife goes, and then I take my 13-year-old, and we pay for that. I'm up to about $40 just to get in.
And then you got to buy popcorn and all that stuff.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, I believe some of it's worth it. So, how much time we got, Carl?
Well, we're about a minute left on the show.
Minute left.
Hey, yeah, we already got a comment in here saying that Wednesday's going to suck because they got to listen to Key and Max.
Damn, Steven.
They miss us.
I'm going to miss you too, but they do a good job. I'm not going to talk about anybody on the station, but don't forget, if you missed Traylor, you can go to our audio vault. I'm sure we're going to tweet that out later. He'll also be on with Jason Minnix sometime today. I forget. I'm sorry, Jason. I forget. I want to say he comes on.
It's 5:30 or 6.
Yeah, I want to say it's 6 o'clock. You hear Traylor again. Michael Jimenez will be in here with the halftime at noon to 2. He's a diva. He didn't come out to the tailgate. He didn't come out to the game. So I'm like, come on, rookie, show up for team activities. Jimenez, what the hell, bro? He only shows up when we're at Slackers and there's drinks involved. Like, come on, bro. Don't be that guy. But anyway, we had fun today. Thank you, Carl, for everything. Thanks to Jason Minnix for coming in. We'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully Rob will be back. Hopefully he'll bring us some bacon. And, like Rob says, we're going to go watch the film and try and be better tomorrow. It's R&R in the morning. See you guys at 7.